give it a minute for people to join up. Everyone tap that screen. Share the live, everyone. Mike, thank you so much. Appreciate the fireworks. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mike. I really appreciate it. Thank you. What's good, everyone joining in from the Dean stream? How's everyone doing? Make sure to go on YouTube. Make sure to like this stream. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. It will help get it out to more people. What's good, everyone joining up the live? What's good, everyone joining in? We're going to start getting some debates here very soon. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Parker, you're so fine.
Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria that I just put on the screen right now. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria on the screen. We are just looking for some debates. Oh, that was an accident. Same person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. Alrighty, everyone. Feisty, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you. And as well as Tara, thank you for the Galaxy. They said I checked to the YouTube blackout. None of my advocacy groups have heard of it. Really? Purdy, thank you so much for the hand darts. Thank you. I'll have to do more research into it. I haven't heard anything about it until what Dean just said. So I'll have to ask Dean, like, see like what he was seeing tonight. But I haven't heard anything about it either. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Okay, let's go to the next person. Purdy, thank you so much for the whale diving. Thank you so much, Purdy. I really appreciate it. Keep some W's for Purdy in the comment section right now. Thank you so much. W, Purdy, I really appreciate it. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 22.
Do you support Donald Trump? Appreciate the head mustache.
I mean, yeah, I would say.
If you could go back in time and either vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, who would you vote for?
What do you mean if I could go back in time?
Yeah, if you could go back in time and either vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, who would you vote for?
Donald Trump.
Okay, why?
Well, I mean, like, obviously, like outside of like, you know, the assault stuff and all the stuff people claim he did, or regardless if that's true or not, I think, like, first off, because obviously, you know, Kamala, she's like pro-abortion, right?
Well, she thinks it should be legal. Do you agree that there should be legal access to abortion?
Not really.
Okay, well, do you believe in separation of church and state?
I believe in what?
Do you believe in separation of church and state?
What's that mean?
Are you saying that you think, are you pro-life because of your religious beliefs?
No.
Okay, why are you pro-life?
I mean, I'm not saying I'm not religious, but I wouldn't say that's the reason why I'm pro-life. I think it's just because, like, I think a baby, like a human, just has the right to life at conception. And I think that's like a agreed upon like thing. And I don't know why all of a sudden it's become like some reason like a thing where people can just get rid of it.
That's not been agreed upon. I don't know what you're talking about. Roe versus Wade was law of the land since the 70s. I have no clue what you're talking about. Most people in this country are pro-choice. Okay? Most people don't think zygotes are people. Okay? I think it's a very fringe perspective that zygotes are human beings and that they're people. Do you think they are?
So what do you think they are? You think they're like aliens?
Of course, of the human species, but they're cellular life. It's a cellular
Exactly
organism. It's a single cell organism. I don't think it's a person. I think personhood can be based upon the past or present and future subjective experience of like a member of the human species.
Wait, so when when conception occurs and the person comes along and becomes a thing, it's not a person. It's just a human.
It's a human life at conception, not a person.
How does that doesn't even make sense?
Yeah, it does. For example, do you think that like an individual after they're brain dead, do you think that you can pull the plug on them if you're in their family? Or do you think that's murder?
Yeah. I mean, I don't. I would do it. I would do it if they wanted it.
So okay, so then they can't want anything at that point. They're brain dead. So I'm saying,
Well, I'm saying I
again,
would do what's best for
should
them.
it be legal for a family to pull the plug on an individual in their family that's brain dead?
Yeah. What are they gonna leave him on life? They're gonna leave him on life support the whole time?
Okay, well, you know that they're still cellularly alive, right?
Wait, you're not gonna really sit here and act like a brain dead person is gonna come back to life.
No, no, no. So they're cellularly speaking alive, but they're not going to come back in terms of sentient life. So if you consider life sentient life, well, then a zygote's not alive.
But a zygote's going to be alive. A brain dead person ain't coming
Going
back
to
to
be?
life.
Wait, but I don't value things that are going to be alive, right? Don't you value
They're
them once
going
they
to
are?
be like they're like going to be, you know, doing the things we do.
Do you
A
value
brain
sperm
dead person,
cells?
not particularly.
Well, they're of the human species and they're living.
Wait, you do wait. Sperm cells. There's like millions of them, first of all,
Yeah,
and they
yeah, and
die.
yeah, and are they good? I mean, I'm not good. Sorry, not good. Are they? Fuck, that's. I'm asking.
That's
Are they?
wait. That's so weird.
I meant to say. I meant to say. Jesus
Are they
Christ.
good? I don't know. Are they good, Parker?
Can I please finish asking my question?
That's crazy work. No, go ahead. That's crazy. Go ahead, bro. What you doing?
Do you know the point of what I was trying to make, or do I have to repeat myself?
I think the point we were trying to make was that sperm cells are good. Have you like ate sperm cells before? I'm confused.
Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet this set of criteria on the screen. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet this set of criteria on the screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Oh, I'm 40.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I do.
Okay. Why do you support Donald Trump?
So the first reason why I support Donald Trump is because of the mass deportations.
Okay. Why do you support mass deportations?
Yeah, so about like a few weeks ago, I think it was Bill Gates had his interview where he was saying that in like a couple of months they'll be rolling out AI for like self-driving cars. And a lot of like truck drivers are going to be like, out of a job. And apparently a lot of truck drivers in America that actually drive trucks are like Afro-American like people who drive trucks. So I'm not sure I said it correctly, but it's one of the industries that has the most American workers in it. So we're about to have a lot of people like out of a job pretty soon, and with AI like getting bigger and bigger, we're gonna have more people like losing their jobs. So you're gonna need like more jobs for people to have. So like it's best to like get rid of like the immigrants. Sorry, illegal immigrants or how you want to say it, so there have be to be more jobs in America for American born people. Does that make sense?
I don't think that deportation leads to more jobs for American-born individuals. I think it leads to less jobs, actually, because there's less people living within the economy, and which would then be demanding goods and services, therefore decreasing the amount of jobs in the economy. So, actually, I would argue that immigration not being present to the same degree is actually worse for the economy, and immigration being present to a greater degree would actually be better for the economy.
Okay, so AI is happening, right? Like we're gonna have a lot of people with self-driving cars lose their jobs. Like, what are they supposed to do once that comes about?
Repeat what you just said, sorry?
Sorry, so AI is happening. We about to have a lot of people lose their jobs once they have self-driving cars, like for truck drivers who like bring stuff
Yeah,
across state lines and stuff like that.
I'm not disputing
They're
that.
about to
I'm not disputing that. I'm
so they're
confused.
about to lose their they're
Oh,
about to lose their jobs. They're gonna need like a new job. So if we get rid of like the illegal immigrants that are here now, it'll make more jobs for
no.
them once they lose their jobs. Does that make sense?
No, it actually will decrease the amount of jobs that there are, like I just mentioned. And if you want to
How
reference
so?
like AI, like being prevalent, again, if you want to respond to AI, that would require more regulation, and that would also require like better standards for workers right? In order for you to maintain the same level of standards for workers that have existed prior. Otherwise, standards would decline, right? Given that it is the case that, again, workers don't have as much bargaining power within the market.
Yeah, I know. I guess you say illegal immigrants don't have as much like of a say because they're illegal, so people pay them whatever they want to pay them, which is a bad
Undocumented.
thing. I
That's
totally agree with that.
you should. So we
Sorry,
should give them
undocumented
so then we
immigrants.
should give them a pathway to citizenship. So if we give them a pathway to citizenship, then it will specifically lead to them being able to be treated better from a legal perspective.
Okay, so if you have a lot of people who, because okay, I'm not trying to be like mean or anything, but I feel like majority of the undocumented immigrants who come in, they're more like lower class as far as like the jobs they take are more like blue collar type jobs. um my point is that like once AI in a few months gets a little bit better and like they start getting rid of these jobs, you're gonna have American people who also blue collar who will need these jobs as well. If I don't understand why you're saying that uh with AI it would you have less blue collar jobs, not more blue collar jobs. Now, if you have like people who come in through like the university process, like you go to school here and then like you get a degree and you look for a job. That's totally different. I'm totally for that. We had a lot at my university when I was back in Louisiana. That's totally a good
Alrighty, thank you
thing.
for the
But I'm
squeeze
just
today.
talking about
Thank you.
people.
Go ahead.
Talking about people who come in who are like more like blue collar workers.
So wait. So repeat what you just said.
Sorry. I'm talking about people who are like, is it blue collar workers? Those are the ones who are like farmers and stuff are considered blue, like factory workers and stuff. They're considered
So,
blue, like truck drivers. They're considered blue collar workers, correct?
sure, yeah. But like,
So I'm saying that
what's the
like
point of
most.
what you're trying to say?
I'm
Are you
sa-
trying to say that immigrants are going to be negatively impactful to the job market?
Yeah, it's for blue collar workers
Could
that
you
there
prov-
are now.
could
And
you
then
provide any good evidence
when,
of that?
well, like, correct me if I'm wrong, majority of the workers who come in are like farmers and construction workers, stuff like that, right? In Utah, where I currently live at, I know a lot of people come in and they do construction, and they work at like the resorts, I believe. We have a lot of those from different countries. They come to Utah for ski season and work at the resorts, and they're kind of like more like blue collar workers. Is that not a fact?
I'm not following you at all. You're not really providing me any good reason to believe that like immigrants coming to the country are somehow going to lead to worse labor conditions. We have yet to see any good evidence of this. I've looked at plenty of studies. No economists I've seen indicates this to be true to a massive scale, right? That is accepted like broadly within the economic community.
So I'm not like I don't know much about the economic. I'm being honest with you, but just like on a logical, like I don't know, if you just look at the situation where like you have a group of people who's about to be displaced from working with more AI advances, they're going to be displaced from working, and you have people coming in from other countries who also want those same kind of jobs. Like there's only so many jobs. It's just kind of like obvious thing if you just look at the situation. You have two sets of people fighting for the same job, or you will be. Does that make sense?
What you're not understanding is that they're not just competing for the supply of jobs, they're also providing demand for new jobs to be created. So there will be more jobs within the economy. So you're only looking at one of the aspects of how more people coming to the country could impact us. Wouldn't this also be true for people who are being born? Are you saying we should have less people born?
Well, I feel like and I could be wrong, the rate of people being born is probably offset by the rate of people who pass away. So that's probably like, you have people being born, you also have people going in retirement, or people who pass away as well. That's probably like even out.
Did you understand what I said?
Yeah, you
Can you
said that
repeat what I
you
said?
can compare. Yeah, you said that my argument is the same as like people being born, like people being born so they don't want to have jobs to be competing for the same resources. I'm assuming that's what you're
No,
saying.
I'm saying you're saying that like there being more people within the economy means there's more people competing for the same level of resources, right? Instead of acknowledging that there's an increase in the level of resources, given that there's more people within the context of the economy, along the fact that there's a greater demand for more resources as well, therefore creating an incentive for there to be more supply for jobs, right? But I mean, I'm confused what your point is.
So wait, just to repeat, you're saying that when you have more immigrants, as far as also more people losing their jobs and competing for the same jobs, still have more resources to be
Can,
more
can, can
jobs.
you
That
stop
doesn't.
repeating the same thing over and over again? I've responded to this multiple times. They're not competing for the same jobs. There's more jobs that exist because it is a case that there's more people within the economy demanding goods and services, which then creates a pressure for companies to provide more laborers, right? Or not provide more laborers, provide more jobs.
Okay, fair enough. I'll concede. I don't know if I necessarily agree, but I'm not really
What do
good
you not
on.
agree with what I'm saying here? Hello, you cut out.
Yeah, sorry, someone called me. I didn't hear what you say. Can you repeat that?
So why don't you agree with what I'm saying?
Oh, honestly, I took like maybe one or two economic classes in university, so I'm not the biggest on that subject. So you could be right, to be honest with you, when it comes to that.
No, but like, why do you disagree?
Oh, well, I guess I'm going to repeat what I just said, which you didn't like beginning with, but I guess the reason why I disagree, just in my mind, this I guess it doesn't really make sense if you have two sets of people competing for the same jobs. I get you're saying that it'll be more people living here, I suppose, and more people means that you need more resources, so you have people building more houses. But you said earlier in one of your debates that people that are immigrants who are undocumented, they can't buy houses anyway, so I don't think they're competing for like buying new houses. But
That's not what I said.
uh,
So again, when it comes to
in one
undocumented,
of your debates, sorry.
and by the way, that would just be for houses. And also when it relates to this, we're
Mhm.
referencing documented immigrants and immigrants in general, population increase. There's an increase in the demand for goods, and there's an increase in the supply for goods. Does that make sense? It's not just an increase in the supply.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
All right, so the other reason why I support Trump is also for he got Roe versus Wade overturned, which I thought was a good thing.
And why do you think that's a good thing?
So personally, and it has something to do with religion or beliefs, at least for me. I don't believe in like murder or abortion. Uh, this personal opinion. So like I consider life as it's starting when I guess when the fertilized uh, egg is in the I don't know the womb. I consider that when life is started. So like I think anything to stop that is murder, personal opinion. So that's why I was against Roe versus Wade.
You want to stop murder. That's essentially what it is. Why do you think it's murder?
Because it is it's ending a life. Life starts somewhere. For me, it starts when the fertilized egg is in the womb.
Oh, wait, so it doesn't start at conception?
Whenever the egg reaches the womb and is fertilized is when I consider life
Wait,
has started.
when it's fertilized or when it implants?
If that's the same thing, I'm not too sure if that's the same thing or
I have a
not. But
question.
whenever
Where does fertilization occur?
Well, it could occur outside of the moon if like you go to like a place to, get it for charity. They fertilize
What?
it outside.
Wait,
I
no,
mean,
I'm asking where in the human body does fertilization occur?
uh, I'm honestly not too sure. Whenever the sperm reaches the egg, I guess it's in the uterus. I'm not
What
really too sure.
you think that it's in the uterus? No. Okay. So
Honestly, I don't know. Is that sorry?
no. So fertilization happens prior to implantation. Implantation would be when the fertilized egg, right, implants into the uterine wall. That would be the beginning point of pregnancy.
Okay. When you go to
So
like a fertility doctor
so
and
to
they
clarify,
do the IVF.
so to clarify, fertilization happens within the context of the fallopian tubes.
Okay.
Okay, so like, wouldn't that be like an incredibly important aspect to understand maybe prior to like, like saying that people should have restricted access to abortion?
Well, not necessarily. I personal opinion, I don't think so, but maybe you do. That's fair enough.
Okay.
But anyway, like I was saying,
Then
even if you like go, sorry,
yeah, so then I guess my question would then be like, do you think it's wrong for people to engage in the IVF process?
no, I don't. I was just about to say, like,
Then
even if you go and do that, sorry.
did you know that many patients in IVF, right, each patient specifically, right, will actually lead to a discarding of 7 to 8 embryos, right?
Yeah, I'm aware.
Like on average. So if you know that, then you know that it's going to lead to the death of people under your worldview. So then do you think IVF should
No,
be
no.
banned?
Again, my world view, sorry, is and again, I mean, I'm not saying this correctly, but because yeah, I'm totally fine with people going to like I know those places, IVF, and that's why I was saying like it could be fertilized outside the human body. So I'm pretty sure that's like a thing because they fertilize it and they put it in the body. I think that's how that works. So I'm not too sure. But no, so like from my point of view, like. If you have like a zygote that's fertilized or however you want to say it, and like it's not inside of a human body, it's not inside of a wound, it doesn't have the ability to grow. So I don't consider that as like but like if it just gets destroyed, that's kind of bad. But I don't think that's murder because like it doesn't have the ability to start growing yet. It can't start growing until it's in the wound. So that's what I
Okay,
consider like
so to
when
clarify,
life starts.
you value it in the womb. So what's the distinction between the zygote, zero point 0.1 second prior to implantation and zero point 0.1 second after implantation that means it's valuable in one scenario, not the other?
It doesn't have the ability to grow. You can't grow outside the wound.
And it couldn't grow if it doesn't have access to the like resources of the pregnant individual. So why shouldn't the person who has giving them resources be able to cut off those resources? Because then it wouldn't be able to grow by itself.
Yeah, would that be murder at that point?
Why
Because
would
then
that be
you're
murder? It can't.
stopping.
You said its valuable was the ability to grow, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Because it can only
Why is
start
the
growing once
ability?
it's in the womb.
So to clarify, if it was going to stay a zygote within the context of the human body the entire time, then it wouldn't be valuable.
But that's not possible. Like once it gets inside of the human body, it naturally starts growing, right? That's like a natural process.
No, only when it's in certain areas of the human body, specifically like the context of the like it, given that there was implantation prior to that point, right? You would consider it not valuable, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So what about it entering the womb specifically leads to it being considerably valuable?
It has the ability to grow. That's like I said earlier. It can grow outside the womb. Once it's in that area where it can start growing, that's it's more natural. It's like I think anything you do to stop it from growing is considered murder because you're stopping nature at that point.
Wait, if you utilize wait, if you kill the zygote, that stops that from happening. Or how about this? What about women who utilize IUDs? Not only can it prevent fertilization, but it can also prevent implantation, meaning it prevents a fertilized egg from implanting into the uterine wall. So if you would have left it to its particular natural circumstances, it would have led to implantation. But because you have an IUD, right, it prevents that.
So I don't know really anything about IUDs other than what you literally just told me just now.
Hmm.
So based on what you just told me, um, so and make sure I understand. It has the ability to stop a fertilized egg from implanting. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
And without it, it would naturally would have planted and would have grown.
Yeah.
Oh, then I guess that is bad. Then I guess you're right.
So
It
you
would
think
be.
you think every person who has an IUD in the comment section, you think they should go to prison for murder?
I never said anyone to go to prison for an abortion.
Oh, okay. So to clarify, you don't think people who get access to abortions should go to prison?
Um, I think that I don't know some people who do believe that, and I know that's like a really hot topic. I'm gonna say right now, for me personally, no. I'm gonna say no.
Okay. Well then you're pro-choice, dude.
I am. How so?
Yeah. If you think it's wrong, but it should be legal and people shouldn't go to prison for it, well then you're pro-choice.
What I just mean, does no legal means that like
Okay. Wait. Then what would
it's
the
okay for
punish?
you to.
Then what would the punishment be?
I think it should be probably more on the doctors who commit the abortion.
Okay. If they do
Like it should
it,
be like a
so
thing
if
where like
someone gives
doctors.
themselves an abortion.
Hmm. Um, okay. Well, on that same note, if someone were, and you probably get really mad at this argument, I have a feeling you get really mad at this, but if someone like custom stuff, people can step in and like, oh, hey, you're not allowed to cut your stuff. You get locked up for that, right? Yeah, yeah, you can't self harm. I guess it'd be the same as that. Doing an abortion is a form of self harm is actually really dangerous, from what I'm told. Like you're not supposed to try to abort a baby yourself. It's supposed to be really dangerous.
Wait, but I'm asking you, in that context, should they go to prison or what should happen to them? What's the punishment under your view?
I think it should be the same as a person who self harms himself, where they're like locked up until they have some counseling. And okay,
Locked up? You think
okay,
that people should be locked up?
okay. If you self harm yourself, aren't you put in a place, right? Don't they lock you up
It
and
depends on
like?
the level of self harm. For example, if I'm like biting the hangnails off my hand, right, and my finger starts
Mhm.
bleeding, right, that I'm engaging in self harm by continuing to do it, but that wouldn't be like a reason I go to like the hospital or get locked up.
Yeah, okay, maybe locked up with a bad word. Sorry. I probably this is my first time ever in my life before, period. First time ever, so sorry, I probably didn't say that correctly. So locked up was probably a bad term. You're correct. I shouldn't say that. I don't know the actual terminology for when a person is like if you self-harm yourself, I
Wait,
do know that they send you to a place. Sorry.
okay, but like again, so if you want to not consider it self harm, then like why don't you let them get medical access to healthcare?
As far as like counseling, like medical, as far as like counseling to like, hey, you're in a situation, these are steps you can take, that kind of medical help.
Yeah, like can they get can they get an abortion pill?
No,
Can
they'll
they
still
take
be
that?
killing. They'll still be killing the baby.
Yeah, okay, but why is that wrong?
Because I think murder is wrong. Like,
Okay, it's
you're
murder.
stopping someone
So
from like
okay, so
growing
should
or.
murderers go to prison?
Yes, they should go to prison.
Okay, so then anyone who gets an abortion should go to prison.
You really want me to say that, don't you? That's kind of
Well,
funny.
no, I
Um,
want you to say that you don't think it's murder because you don't think they should go to prison.
I do think abortion is murder. I'm not saying that if you commit a abortion, you should go to jail. I think anything the doctor probably should be, because the doctor probably committed a whole bunch of abortions and so a whole bunch of
Wait,
murder. So I think it's a
why
different
should the
story,
doctor go to jail?
because the doctor's the one who actually doing the abortion. And
So?
in the medical field, and I'm not a doctor, but in the medical field, there's this thing, do no harm. It's like the very first thing, doctors do no harm, and you're literally harming a life. So yeah, I think it's really bad.
You're harming a pregnant individual by not allowing them to get access to an abortion. You're not doing any harm to a non-sentient embryo. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know that
What is
you
harm?
and
What is harm?
your harm is like you're stopping a life from growing. You're stopping something from becoming a living thing or baby. You're stopping it.
Yeah, but like again, like that's not like harm because it's not like when you say you're harming someone, right? You're going to
Mhm.
reference some type of experience, right? Or being that's being harmed that you would say has some sort of personhood, right? In this connotation, right? There what is there that you would consider a person?
Right, so I think in your worldview, you believe in the whole sentence thing, right? And you believe that you have to be able to experience something in the past and present for it can be considered living. Is that correct?
Past or present and future subjective experience is the condition for personhood. It's living at conception in a cellular sense. It's not living in a sentient sense until 20 through 24 weeks in the womb.
Yeah. So yeah. So you only consider it, I guess, alive or important once it gets to 24 weeks. I heard you made this argument before. Um, I- it's kind of interesting, at least from my point of view, because like so I get your concept of like, it's not a sentient being yet. It's just like cells, single organism, whatever. But I just feel like it has to start somewhere. Like life has to start somewhere, and from my point of view, the reason why I consider it once it's like in the womb where it starts growing
That's
is
not when
because
life
it's like
begins. Biologists determine when life begins, not you. All right. Do you really think you're better than
Okay,
biologists at determining when life begins? Are you serious?
I never said I was. I
Okay.
didn't
Okay.
even
Well,
like
then why are
argue with
you
you when you made your comment.
establishing? Then why were you establishing life begins at the beginning of pregnancy rather than life beginning at conception and or sentience?
I think for Okay, so I think for each person, they have their own definition of when life begins because, like, mainly because of like religion and spiritual stuff, people have different religions, people have different spirituality. And because of that, people view human life differently than like a person who's a biologist would view it or a doctor would view it, I suppose. So that's why I think that one's a little bit different, if that makes sense to you.
No, 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 no. Can you repeat what you just said?
Okay, so because of like religion and because of spirituality,
Hmm.
people believe differently when it comes to when human life begins. For some people, it's like I don't know, at conception. Some people it's like you in 24 after 24 weeks or something like that. But because of that, people have different like opinions or beliefs on when life actually begins for a human. So I think it's a little bit unfair to say because I'm not a biologist. I never said I was, or never said I know more than a biologist. I never said I know more than a doctor. But I think because of spirituality and because of religion, people have different opinions of when life starts. So I think it's a little
That's
unfair
not
to
that's not a
say.
good basis for determining when life starts. You should go to biologists and facts and evidence.
So you completely disregard people like spiritual and relational beliefs or experiences when it comes to when life begins. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, religion does not determine when life begins.
Okay, well, I'm gonna disagree with you on that, just because like I think it's different for each person.
But
I
but,
think
but
for each person is
what
sorry.
biologists and scientific professionals are going to be the best suited towards identifying when life begins, not religion.
Okay, so I know you're an atheist, but man, you really are.
Wait, by
That's
the
really
way,
interesting. That
that's not even an atheistic take. You can be a Christian. You can believe in any religion and still say that. Olivia, thank you for the galaxy. Thank you.
fair enough, fair enough, fair enough.
Sure. So like why don't you believe that? I mean, you believe in evolution, you believe dinosaurs existed, you believe in all those different scientific facts. Why not this one?
That life begins 24 weeks. Is it 24 weeks? I'm sorry, after
That cellular
conception.
life begins at conception and sentient life begins 20 through 24 weeks.
I, mainly, I just go back to the whole tree thing of like even the biggest tree starts off as a seed. So I just feel like it has to start somewhere, and like for me, it just starts when it's in the womb and it has the ability to grow. Um, because like I don't know. I guess that's why I just think it's like it has to start off somewhere. For me, it just starts then versus the 24 weeks later. That
Okay.
makes sense.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about, Rad?
No, that's probably good. There's a few other reasons why I support Trump, but I know I'll probably tell y'all already, I'm sure.
All right. Appreciate you coming up.
All right, later. Thanks.
Only send a guest request if you meet this set of criteria on the screen, everyone. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria on the screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hello,
How old are you?
I am 21 years old.
What's your birth year?
2004.
Okay, what state do you live in?
Pennsylvania.
What time is it?
It is 8:47.
Okay, can you name 3 cities in Pennsylvania?
There is only one.
Okay, that's very unfortunate. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone. We're just looking for some debates. Only send a guest request if you meet that criteria on the screen. If you want to support me, as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as in the pinned comment on YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat, everybody. Let's go on to the next person here real quick. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria on the screen. Anthony, thank you for the $10, by the way. Thank you so much. Let's go on to the next person. Ooh. Oops. All right, let me catch up. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
28.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah, for the most part.
What's your birth year?
96.
And if you could go back in time and either vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, who would you vote for?
Donald Trump.
Okay, for sure. Let me thank some people real quick, and then we'll get on to the debate. Sydney, thank you so much for the $5, by the way. Thank you so much. I'll make sure to read that here in a second. Maudie, thank you so much for the $4.20. W. Libby, thank you so much for the appreciate the $50. Thank you so much, Libby. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Get some W's for Libby in the comment section right now. They said neuropsych test results came in. Everything is before my surgery. The doctor said you're to continue what I'm doing. I'm doing, which has been watching you and Dean's live streams and videos every day. So thanks for the help of the recovery. Thank you so much, Libby. Give me some W's for Libby in the comment section right now. Thank you so much. I hope for continued quick recovery. Purdy, thank you for the $50 on Cash App. Thank you so much. Get some W's for Purdy in the comment section as well. Thank you so much, Purdy. I really appreciate it. Thank you. W's for Purdy in the comment section and W's for Libby. Thank you so much. All right, so why do you support Donald Trump? And Jody, thank you so much for the membership subscription.
Not going to label myself a Trump supporter. At the end of the day, I'm Republican leaning. So that's typically what it comes down to. I've been listening for a while, and I don't really think the last guy that was on here is the brightest, but I am, for the most part, pro-life. And I think what he was kind of failing to I don't know if he can't speak or what the deal is, but so at the end of the day, I believe it's just under 1% of abortions are they're getting done because of rape or incest, which is where I would be pro-abortion. I absolutely don't believe that somebody that's raped should have to have their child.
So then here'd be my question. Would you support overturning Roe versus Wade, which would be leaving abortion rights up to the states, if it did not provide a federal exemption, right, for rape victims to get access to abortion?
So yes and no. Sorry, what was the last?
I'm asking you, would you support overturning Roe versus Wade, right, if there was not an exception for rape victims to get access to an abortion?
Overturn Roe's exception for them to not have. No, I at the end of the day, I do think that rape victims should be allowed to get an abortion.
Okay, well, that's what Donald Trump did as it relates to abortion. He specifically overturned Roe versus Wade, but they provided no federal exemptions to provide rape victims access to abortion on a federal scale. So clearly you don't support Donald Trump because of his pro-life views. What is the reason why you support Donald Trump?
Well, you're not letting me finish the pro-life look, where me and every other pro-life individual is coming from, is that, like I said, it's just under 1% of abortions come from rape or incest. Great. I think it's just under 5% even happen for any medical issue between the mother or the child at all. So you have 95%.
So one, rape is heavily underreported. Two, as it relates to this, if you want to reference the circumstances in terms of people getting access to abortion, right, that still would mean that that still wouldn't get around the point that I was making. You said that you would not support overturning Roe versus Wade if it did not provide this federal exception, right? Donald Trump did that without providing the federal exception. Therefore, you don't support his pro-life stance, right?
It was in the state's hands before.
It was no. So Roe versus Wade protects federal access to abortion prior to viability, and then leaves it up to the states after viability.
Right. Okay. So you can still there's still currently access to abortion.
There still is access to abortion depending upon the state that you're in. For some states, there is no access to abortion. And for some states, especially that also applies in circumstances in which people have been sexually assaulted. So again, I'm asking you, would you support Donald Trump's pro-life policy if he overturned Roe versus Wade without any federal exceptions for rape victims to get access to an abortion?
Then no.
Okay, then what do you support Donald Trump for? Because it's clearly not his pro-life view. So what is the reason why you support Donald Trump?
Because there should not be a nationwide open abortion for any reason that you want.
Okay. So again,
but like I said, you have people taking videos making a mockery of abortion, like they're dancing outside the abortion clinic. There's videos all over of this.
Good.
What do you mean good?
Good.
Why? Why do they have the freedom to do that? Explain that to me.
Because
it has nothing to do
because
with...
they should. Because The being is
Because
not
they should.
because the being is not sentient prior to the point in which there's 20 to 24
Like
weeks in the womb.
sex is not a human pleasure. It is a means of
It is.
biological reproduction. No,
Well,
it isn't.
it's been pleasurable
No,
every
it
time I
isn't.
did it. I know it's not been pleasurable for anyone that you've done it with, but like again, if we're talking about in typical context, yes, it is pleasurable.
See now you're getting mad, and now you're
No, I'm not
claiming
getting
that-
mad. You're just
you're getting-
projecting. You're just projecting how it's been for you and for the fact that you can't pleasure people in your life, and then you're projecting that onto everyone else and saying that it's not a pleasurable experience for other people.
So you can start to see the point that I'm making, and you're now I can't pleasure my wife. I can't pleasure anybody I've ever been with.
Clearly, because obviously you said it's not pleasurable. I mean, that's just like you projecting. Clearly.
That's not. I said it is not a means of human pleasure. It is.
It is absolutely a means. It is absolutely a means of human pleasure.
Yes, humans get pleasure from it. That is not the biological reason for it.
What do you mean by the biological reason?
Biological
wait,
reason.
But the wait, by the way,
reproduction,
just because there's a biological reason for something doesn't mean that's how it should be used. But yes, the biological reason is for reproduction. But that doesn't mean it's always in context of it being in relation to reproduction. For example, people still have that feeling even if they are infertile. You know, like it doesn't make any sense. Would it be wrong to stay with your partner if you know that they're infertile?
No.
No? Okay. But you understand that if you were to engage in other actions, such as get with a different partner, then you could reproduce with that partner. But you don't think that you're obligated to reproduce in the context of the relationship that you exist in. So what's your point?
What the fuck are you talking? You, if my partner was infertile,
Yes. So you're saying that just because there's a biological reason for something, i.e., you have to be in a relationship specifically,
Yeah, I would not
or
be with
engage in
somebody
sex
else
with the
because
explicit
my-
reason of like only engaging in procreation. Well, clearly, if it's outside of the context of procreation, given that your partner has reached a stage in which they are infertile, then under that context, then it is pleasurable, or you would stop. Would you stop in that context? Would you stop having sex as soon as your partner becomes infertile?
no, you're not. You're actually you're
Exactly.
making
So it
no-
is pleasure.
you're making no
It is
point.
for a means of pleasure. You just proved it.
No, I'm aware that humans get pleasure from it. That is
No, but
not
you do
why.
it. You see it as a means for pleasure because you wouldn't stop having sex as soon as your partner becomes infertile.
And if my partner was fertile and I got her pregnant, I would take responsibility for my actions. That's what people
That's
can't
totally
do.
fine. And the same thing, I would do the same thing as well. But that doesn't mean from a legal perspective, everyone else has to be forced to go through the context of a pregnancy. That's ridiculous. Also, from our
Then why are they
standpoint, that
having
makes
sex?
sense because we're not the ones
Then
who
why
have
are
to.
they having
We're
sex?
also not the ones that have to go through the fucking pregnancy. So you can really easily say that from your perspective, but you don't have to go through that pregnancy. So it's very fucking easy for you to say that from the position and standpoint that you're sitting at. But for the people that do have to go through the context of the pregnancy, it's not so fucking easy for them to say that because of the fucking obligation that they would have to go through. Appreciate the hand art in the galaxy. Thank you. Appreciate the hand art. Thank you, Lauren. Unmute your mic.
Can you?
What'd you say?
If the pregnancy is predetermined to be so horrible, why are women that don't want to get pregnant having unprotected, unsafe sex?
Wait, you
And
think
why
that,
are
do you
they
think
not
that
okay
most
with
abortions are a result of unprotected sex? Did you know that 51% of abortions are a result of failed contraceptives, meaning that people are using contraceptives, they just end up failing in some circumstances. And then some people get pregnant even though the context they used contraceptives. So accidents happen.
That's still a massive lack of responsibility for what you know can happen.
So
You
again,
can have
wait,
sex-
so if someone
you can
does
have
use
sex
wait,
with
so
a
if someone
condom
does use
and pull out.
contraceptives, then you're saying they should be able to get access to an abortion, right?
No, I
Okay,
don't
but
even,
then,
you're-
wait, so then stop branding
Dude,
it as
you
just
can
people
see the
having
point that I'm
unprotected
making,
sex.
and you're trying to ramble your way out of it.
How am I
If you-
rambling my way out of what?
You're trying to say that I support abortion and twist words that that make no sense. You can have sex with a condom and pull out. How is somebody getting pregnant? But people can't do that.
Wait.
So this whole
You know
idea.
that? Wait, do you know that people
95%
can
of
still get
abortions-
pregnant in that context? Did you know that?
0.00 fucking 1,000% of people are going to get pregnant in that context. Out of the over 1 million abortions happening every
Okay,
year.
so it's
A
gonna.
million.
So by the way, condoms I'm pretty sure are like 85% effective. And
They're not-
And,
they're
if we, and then let's if we assume that there was a 99%, if we assume that there's a 99% effectiveness rate, and like everyone in the country is having sex, that's still thousands of people. That's still hundreds of thousands of people. That's actually still millions of people from the overall population of America. There's over 300 million people. There's 340 million people in this country. 1% of that's 3.4 million. Okay, so there's going to be hundreds of thousands, millions of people impacted by this, because it is the case that even just a small percentage is still a lot of people.
Correct. But at the end of the day, like, you can't, I don't believe that you can just like cater to these people that live so, like, they live without repercussions. And it's not, those same people live that
Like
way
Donald
in every
Trump?
aspect of life.
I mean, you supported a guy
Sure,
held
sure.
civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman, said he would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years, bragged about walking in the changing rooms of girls Miss TSA because he quote-unquote owns the place to inspect them without consent, called his daughter voluptuous, which means curvy and sexually attractive, bragged about grabbing women by the vagina without asking, and you're not holding them accountable for any of those things. So if you want to talk about holding people accountable, why don't you do so with the very person that you support, not specifically women getting access to abortion?
Okay, see, this is why you were talking about Trump. You don't talk about Republican versus Democrat.
Wait, you joined a live of me talking about Trump, so that's what you decided to talk about.
And the very first thing I said on here is that I'm not going to label myself a Trump supporter. At the end of the day, I'm Republican leaning.
At the end of the day, you had said at the very beginning of the stream that you would vote for Donald Trump over Kamala Harris. That means you do support Trump in that context. That's clearly the context of support for Trump.
I
I'm
support
referencing,
the Republican candidate that
Which
the
was Donald
Republican
Trump.
Party voted on.
which was Donald Trump.
Correct.
Okay,
So,
so you voted
in
for a
every
guy held
past
civilly liable of
presidency
sexually
ever.
abusing a woman. You voted for a guy who said he would date a 10-year-old girl in 10 years. You voted for a guy who literally called his daughter sexually attractive and curvy, which is what voluptuous means. All of those things. So don't try to like act like you didn't support that and act like act like you are holding him accountable. You just said, "Oh, people are not being held accountable at all because they engage in sex," and then it is the case that they don't have to go through the context of the pregnancy. But then you don't care about applying accountability to men like Donald Trump for raping women, and for their misogyny, and for the ways that they harm our society. None of that's relevant for you to provide any type of accountability for. But damn, women had sex, right? And they got pregnant. And pregnant individuals had sex, and they got pregnant. And that's the worst thing in the world, to your view.
You see what you're doing? You're voting for the person. It seems I'm supposed to vote against a person, not outside beliefs of what the party does when they're in
You shouldn't support sexual abusers.
I
You
don't.
shouldn't support rapists.
I don't.
You do. You literally support Donald Trump.
So, okay, so you're acting like I fucking Venmoed Donald Trump when I
You voted.
Voted for-
You voted for him.
correct. So you think I should
What?
have voted for Kamala?
What? Yes, you
Yeah,
voted
I
for
voted for
Kamala.
him.
Yeah, so like, yes, you did support him. You clearly supported him. You voted for him.
Okay, sure. I mean, yeah, I absolutely voted for him.
Yeah, so then you
I
voted
feel
for.
like
So
you
then,
have
how are you
this-
holding him accountable?
have-
What happened to accountability?
Me and Donald Trump have no direct contact. How is he directly affecting me in any way that?
but you're not holding him accountable at all.
What am I supposed to do to hold him accountable?
Not vote for him.
I voted for a different Republican candidate
Who'd you vote
at the
for?
beginning. RFK.
RFK was not in the Republican primaries, dude.
Yeah, I didn't vote in the Republican primary, but I would have voted for him. I like his stances much more.
Then why did you say you voted for a Republican? He wasn't even on the Republican side. What are you talking about?
I didn't vote in the primary.
Okay, so you voted in the election for RFK.
Yes.
When he wasn't even a candidate.
Yes, he was.
No, he
You can vote
wasn't.
for anybody you want. You can vote for anybody
RFK dropped out of the race.
You can literally write down any name you want. There's multiple.
Well, why
people
didn't you
there.
write down your own name then?
Well, I'm not going to get elected.
Neither is RFK. He wasn't even in the fucking race.
I understand, but if I feel like I have, at the end of the day, I'm Republican leaning.
Dude, so you voted for a guy that was associated with the Democratic Party, right?
Right. Obviously he isn't though. So I have a question.
So
Why do
you don't,
feel
so you don't
people like
support Donald
RFK?
Trump anymore.
Why do you?
So like, if
why
you
do
could go back
feel-
in time and either vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, who would you vote for?
I would vote for Trump.
Okay, so then why?
I already told you I'm Republican leaning.
Yeah, but that's not telling me why specifically. Like in what
Typically,
context?
the economy ends up better. If
In
you
what
look at
way?
the economy from Trump's first
In
presidency,
what way is the
or
economy better under Trump?
what is the inflation? What is the housing market in right now?
Shit, it's doing horrible.
It's in there's actually, we just got pushed out that the Fed is set to lower the interest rate 3 times in the next 12 months.
Which they would have done at a quicker rate because if Donald Trump never imposed his tariffs. So that's
Get
actually
the
what they
fuck
said.
out of here, dude.
The Federal Reserve said that themselves.
The Democrats were just in office for fucking 4 years, and there was never a word of an interest rate dropping. It actually
There
continued to
actually
go up.
was.
for
There
quite a
were
while.
interest rates drops under the Biden-Harris administration. One, two, as it relates to this. If you want to reference that, that's because of supply chain crises relating to COVID, not related to the Biden-Harris administration policy.
So there's a scapegoat for anything that's ever gone wrong for a Democrat.
No, it's
in
not.
office.
It's not scapegoat. It's called evidence-based reasoning.
Gotcha. Can you name one thing that the Republican Party does that you support in any way?
Yeah, the no tax on tips, no tax on overtime tax deductions. They're not no tax on tips or no tax on overtime, but they're deductions: $25,000 for tips and $12,500 for overtime. We can also point to the increase in child tax credit from $1,000 to $2,000. But each of these policies, Democrats are better on than Republicans.
What do you mean they're better on? They've never done that.
No.
So why do you
yes,
think
they
that
have.
they are
The
better?
American Rescue Plan had a higher child tax credit increase under the Biden-Harris administration comparative to what Trump is increasing it to under the context of the big beautiful bill. Secondly, we can point to
When was the last time that there was no tax on tips and no tax on overtime?
well, okay, I'm just saying Democrats supported those policies.
Okay, but they've never done anything to push them forward.
Those two things. Yes, they did. They voted for. They said they would vote for policies in which those existed. That's what Kamala Harris said. That's what other Democrats said in Congress. They were saying that they support that policy.
But
And if anything, they wanted it to a greater extent.
But no
than what Trump
Democratic
did.
president had ever attempted to push it through.
No.
At the end of the day, I don't know.
Okay,
It's good that
wait.
Trump-
So just because
Trump
they
is in a
support it at this
position of
time,
power.
wait. So now they support it,
Hold
but
on,
they did
hold
in
on
the
a second.
past. Wait, now they support it. That doesn't change anything. They support it now.
But they just say they do. They didn't
Wait,
do
did Trump?
anything-
Did
they
Trump do
didn't
it?
anything
Did
to
Trump
make
do it in his
happen.
first term?
No.
Okay, so then obviously you can't blame them because Trump didn't do it in his first term either.
Okay. So, but now that a Republican is doing it, they're attached to every past Republican presidency that didn't do it.
What? That didn't make any sense. Repeat.
A Republican is now attempting to lower the taxes for the literal working class, like the restaurant.
Really? Because the
servers
big
and-
beautiful bill decreased after-tax income for the bottom 10% of income earners by $1,200 a year, and it decreased after-tax income for the entirety of the bottom 20%. So I'm confused what you're talking about. Low-income workers specifically actually are worse off under this bill, and then they gave massive tax breaks to millionaires and billionaires and added trillions of dollars to the debt. So what the hell are you talking about?
So having no tax on overtime and no tax on tips is going to lead to less money.
Even taking those into account, there's a decreased after-tax income for the bottom 20% of income earners, and for the bottom 10%, it's a decrease by $1,200 a year.
Where is it from? Is it a federal income increase?
It's specifically through the cuts in benefits, through context of Medicaid and food stamps.
Okay. So they're not making less money.
They are getting less money.
How are they getting less money?
In benefits? Like
That's
Medicaid and food
that's not
stamps.
money in their pocket.
It's money that they're benefiting from.
Okay.
So you know that affects their after-tax income because they have to buy stuff otherwise if they don't get access to it.
Yeah, that's not going to affect many people on the food
Millions,
stamp side.
really, 2.4 million people per month.
Do you see what people on food stamps purchase at the store? There's
Wait,
no regulations on those at all.
Yes, there are. One, two is related
No,
to this.
you can
Yes,
buy.
there
You
are
can
one.
spend your
Two
entire
is
thing on fucking
two is it relates to
Doritos.
two is it relates to this. That doesn't.
You can
change
spend the entire thing on Doritos
So
and pop.
let's say you did. So
Why would you do that? Why would you allow people to fucking demoralize themselves like that?
what do you mean demoralize themselves like that? We want to provide them food. We want to make sure that they have food.
Okay, there needs to be
do you
regulations.
do you not want to
in
make sure
place.
they have food? What do you think that they'll be more healthy getting food or no food?
Can they get a job?
Wait, would they be more healthy getting food or no food?
Sure, getting bad food.
They'd be more healthy getting food, right?
But there's
food.
programs.
Okay, so to
the
clarify,
world
if you
is
believe that
turning
they'd be more
towards
healthy
something.
getting food than not food, then why do you support cutting them off food? Like what?
It doesn't mean zero food. They still have money.
No, you're cutting them off of food access in terms of
No.
food stamps.
Food stamps. That's not their only means of income
Yeah, but
to
it
get
was,
food.
but it's
They
necessary
can
for
use
them
cash.
because it's necessary for them because it is the case that they weren't able to afford it otherwise. That's why they're getting access to the supplemental program. If you want to reference food stamps, you're saying you think cutting people off food stamps and just saying quote unquote get a job is going to fix the conditions. What job do you work?
They're not. They're not. They're not. What do I what?
What job do you work?
In the Air National Guard.
Okay. Do you think that because you work in the International Guard, that means that like you are better than anyone else? That means that like other people don't deserve food and fucking healthcare access because you work in that? That's ridiculous. Other people who work other types
No.
of jobs, you just telling them to get a job is ridiculous because they do have jobs and they're losing access to care.
Okay, they can still buy food.
With what money?
They don't have $0, man.
Wait,
That's the thing.
you understand a lot of people specifically would not be able to buy the food that they are able to buy given that they have food stamps. So they literally wouldn't have those particular goods if it is the case that food stamps was not present. So
Okay, so what if
you're advocating to
what
cut
if in the
their
grand scheme, what if in the grand scheme, a lot of illegal working immigrants are being deported? There will be more job availabilities for
that
people
wouldn't
to go out
make
and
more
work.
job availabilities. Deporting people actually leads to less jobs in our economy because not only does it decrease the supply of people who are providing jobs, but it also decreases the demand for goods and services that then prop up and create more jobs.
So if the construction company down the road lost 15 workers, they're not going to hire anybody else.
I'm saying that it will be the case that
They
they will
will.
have
That's
less.
what I'm.
They will
That's
have
what I'm
less.
saying.
They will have less demand for their goods and services, and it's not just the 15 people who are going to be leaving the economy in terms of the people who are part of their work. If 15 people are leaving their workplace, well, then it's often going to be the case that there are literally millions of other people that are being kicked out as well. So if that was the case, we'd be able to point to that, and that's going to impact the economy to a great extent. The immigration surge that happened under the Biden-Harris administration literally is going to increase the GDP size by $8.9 trillion by 2034, according to a Congressional Budget Office estimate, which is from a nonpartisan committee from the federal government.
So how many people are currently unemployed in the United States from 18 to 55?
It's 4.2% unemployment. I'll have to check the number of people
4.2 of the entire
of the
country
of the labor
or the
force.
working. Okay, I'm just assuming that's multiple hundreds of thousands.
4.2% unemployment. Coral, thank you so much
Okay.
for the $20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so
So
much.
the
Coral.
thing is that, like, not every immigrant is being deported simultaneously.
No,
I
not
know,
every, obviously
ICE
not.
is going.
Obviously not.
I know ICE is okay. Well, then that's what I'm saying. Like, I know ICE is going off the rails right now, but they're not deporting a million people at once. Like I said,
not
the construction
simultaneously,
company
but
up
what's
the
your point?
road, the construction company up the road might have lost 5 guys last week or 10
Hey,
guys in the
can you
last
give me
month.
any good evidence?
They-
Can you give me any good evidence that deporting people leads to job creation?
See, are you not listening to what I'm saying?
I am. Can you give me any good
So
evidence?
can those people not push out job
can you give
applications?
me any good evidence that deportations lead to job creation?
Yeah, the common sense I'm using right now.
Really? Okay, so let's take a look at the jobs report. The jobs report was so fucking bad that Donald Trump fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics because he thought it was politically biased information. It was so bad.
So you're telling me that there are an immense amount of, just for a lighter term, construction companies that are solely based off illegal immigrants, and they're going out of business and not rehiring new employees.
That's not what I said at all. No.
So then how are those people leaving, not allowing more job opportunity for citizens that are on welfare, that are on fucking Medicaid, that are on food stamps? There's more opportunity
because
for them to go work
You're
a
not-
full-time job.
I don't think you're listening to me. You think
I'm
that
listening.
when people leave the economy, that it's just that, right? There are more job openings. But what you're not realizing that there's an effect on supply and demand. There's multiple aspects of the economy that are impacted. It's
I'm
not
aware.
just that there's job opening. Okay? You need to think more critically about the effect is on the broader market, because that's not the only thing you can point to in terms of there being one less person who's not working a job. You have to think about the broader implications in the market.
Well, I understand, but if those businesses need to stay in business, they can't just give up because they lost some employees. There's an attempt to rehire
Yeah, but they're going to rehire
Americans
less
that need
people.
jobs.
They'll rehire less people because of the demand.
Okay. So there will be job openings that will not
Really,
be
the job
fulfilled by
report's
American citizens.
absolutely dog shit.
There will be the people, and I guarantee it is in the 90% of people that are receiving Medicaid and receiving food stamps would rather stay on the government subsistence that they're on than go fulfill an open job.
So again, you think
And that is why they have fallen into the position they're in the first place.
this guy thinks that people are just going to start working at magical levels, given it is the case that they're cut off Medicaid and food stamps. One, that's not true. Two, as it relates to this, you understand
Isn't that the point, though?
you understand that people are working when getting access to Medicaid and food stamps in plenty of circumstances, and there are also a lot of people that can't work that haven't qualified for disability yet. So you're saying that people should have restricted access to Medicaid and food stamps who haven't qualified for disability yet, because it takes a hell of a long time to be able to qualify for disability, and that can't currently work in the meantime. You're saying they should be kicked off their health insurance and they don't deserve food.
They would deserve less subsistence if they haven't been considered disabled.
If they haven't, they're currently disabled, but they just haven't gone through the system yet because it takes a long time to get through the system.
So you think that everybody that applies for disability should just immediately be given money until they're proven disabled?
I'm saying that there should be no exceptions.
So I could take off work for 3 months and say I broke.
I'm saying there should be no exceptions for like food stamps and Medicaid, because it is the case that people who are disabled are going to lose access to it as an inevitable reality because it takes a long time to get on disability.
It doesn't take
I would love to be able to fund systems to make it so that it's faster for people to get access to disability who are disabled.
Okay, then that's something that can be done.
Yeah,
or
and
people
that
with
requires more funding,
disabilities.
not less funding. That requires more funding going into these social programs, not less funding, and then giving that money to rich people disproportionately through tax cuts. Think about what you're doing. You're selling away this country's future. You're selling away people's benefits for people who are in the top 1% to get an extra yacht. That's what you're doing. For them to get an extra Mercedes.
Well, that's actually not how that works.
That's exactly how it works.
When the billionaires get more money, they expand their business, which creates more jobs.
Wrong. They actually
That's not wrong.
Wrong. They actually have a greater.
Who's the biggest employer in the United States?
They actually have a greater
Amazon.
They actually have a greater incentive to pass down that money to their employees if it is the case that they have a higher top marginal tax rate, because otherwise they will be taxed on that. And from an employer perspective, you save whatever your top marginal tax rate is on any reinvestment back into the firm. So actually having top marginal tax rates that are higher creates a greater incentive for reinvestment in the firm. Secondly, if you give money to people who are rich, they're going to do whatever is profit maximizing for themselves. Often stock buybacks, often things that are specifically profitable to themselves, not profitable to the rest of society. So oftentimes that money isolates itself to the top, and that money does not distribute itself through the context of the economy. And you know what that then leads to? That leads to insane levels of income inequality. What we want is a constant flow of money through the economy. And that means that we take money from people who are rich, disproportionately rich, and that means that we distribute it back to people who are in need, and that money then is trickled back up to people who are rich because they end up buying the services of people who are rich. And when that happens, there's a natural distribution of the economy that continues that flow. Right? Otherwise, there's not a continued flow within the economy, and there's vast economic inequities that then will become worse and create all of these different harms in our society. Not only for people who have lack of access to care, but also for the cohesiveness of our society. Right? Society is less cohesive when there is so much income inequality. Some income inequality is going to happen within every system that exists, but the reality is that the income inequality that we have right now is so vast that it literally creates a lack of cohesion within our society, where people feel like they're not in the rest of society. They don't fit into the rest of society, and it creates an even more broad class dynamic, right, that separates people, right, and creates a division between people, right? Even more than what already exists in terms of income inequality already.
Okay, so yeah, there is at the top there is a slight disproportionate of the amount of money that a billionaire can save off the writing off their taxes. There is still a large majority of their money is pushed back down into the economy. as they expand. It's the only way that they can continue to write off more and more things themselves is if they expand.
If
They
that's
have
the way
to
that they can, the only way they can continue, well, they're going to do that anyway. So what you want to
Okay, also,
incentivize them
it's a
to,
capitalist nation.
yeah, and I'm not saying it's not capitalist.
So
But what I'm
a
saying is that
billionaire.
what
No,
I'm
listen.
saying is that you
A
cannot let
billionaire has the same
capitalism
right.
you cannot let capitalism run rampant and destroy your society. You can't do it. There are aspects of capitalism that have created great things within our society, and there are aspects of capitalism that destroy our communities. And we need to be very, very clear with that because we don't want that happening. We want safety nets to exist to ensure that when there are these ailments, specifically with the systems that exist, that there's something to catch someone and there's something to catch you so that we can put you back into the system. So that is the case that you can have social mobility to rise back up. Right. And to be able to take care of yourself. That's the whole point of the system we're saying right now. If we provide that safety net for people, then it is the case that they are able to then take care of themselves in the long run. It is not the case that everyone just wants to live off of everyone else. Sure, there are some people that are inevitably going to do that within the context of our broader system, but overall, people in
too
general,
many
they
people are
want
gonna
to
do
help
that.
out people in general. They just need the safety net and they need that type of security to be able to, provide in the context for their family and be able to get better working conditions. For example, unemployment insurance. If you don't have unemployment insurance and you get fired, right, or you get into a circumstance where you don't have a job anymore, you have less time to be able to go look for a new job, meaning that you can demand less in terms of the labor market than if it's the case that you have more time due to the fact that you had unemployment insurance that allowed for you to be able to pay for everything in your life while simultaneously looking for a job. So you'd have to pick the first job that you just saw. You could pick the job that had better working conditions. So what that actually does is it creates incentive within the context of the labor market to be able to give workers a bigger say for what the conditions are that they're going to exist in. Because if they do not have that bargaining power, it is inevitably going to be the case that people who are, from an employer perspective, are going to literally get as much profit as they possibly can because they have a profit maximizing condition. Sure, there are going to be some benevolent people who act within the context of these frameworks that will not do that, but oftentimes that will be the general trend.
You're saying, okay, yes, from the billionaire standpoint, that is true. They want as much money as they possibly can. They're working for themselves, not society.
Yes, exactly. That's
But
which is how the profit incentive works. But we also have to take that into account when constructing policy. Sorry,
but I don't see exactly where you draw the line on a billionaire not being able to have the same capitalist ability to continue to grow as somebody that's starting out from the bottom. So where are you drawing the line and saying, oh, you have too much money, you're not allowed to do this?
well,
Versus somebody at the bottom that wants
I'm
to
not
start a
saying
new
that there's
business
a
and grow.
certain point where we completely cut someone off on 100% taxation. What I'm saying is that the more money you make, the more in taxes you make, or more in taxes you pay. And that's the best way to incentivize people within the context of the market to have better conditions, right, overall for laborers and workers and whatnot. And also, I just want to say this. People who are billionaires, you increasing their tax rate is not going to limit them working very much because they're already working to be able to increase the number in their bank account and to increase how much power that they have. And simply speaking,
Right.
not working reduces that for them, right? And regardless, they're going to be wanting to keep doing it and they want to keep making more money because their goal is not to increase their quality of life. Their goal is to make as much money as they possibly can. It's to increase that number. It's to compete against other people who are billionaires. Okay, he just left, by the way. So like if you increase their taxes, right, which doesn't change their quality of life at all, right, that's not going to disincentivize them to work because their whole point of working is not, is to keep making the most amount of money possible, right? Yo, what's up, how old are you?
Hello.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Trump 2024 happened.
Okay. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump. We're just looking for some debates. If you're on YouTube, make sure to like that stream. Yo, what's up, how old are you?
Hello?
How old are you?
19.
What's your birth year?
2005.
And do you support Donald Trump?
Yes.
And what month?
October.
Okay, for sure. Can I thank a few people and then we'll continue on to the debate here? Ivy, thank you so much for the $15. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That's true. That's true. I get you. Thank you so much, Ivy. I really appreciate it. Min, thank you for the $5. Anna with the $5. Thank you. Alyssa, thank you for the $1. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Joy with the $2. Thank you. Sierra with the $5. Thank you. Kira, thank you so much. I appreciate the $5. Thank you. Samantha with the $10. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Omariana, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $10 as well. Thank you. Jessica, thank you so much for the $10. Bajorn, thank you for the $11. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Timothy, thank you for the $25. Thank you so much. Yehoshua, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you. Oh, I did see that. Thank you so much. Heidi, thank you so much for the $10 as well. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, I really appreciate that, Heidi. Thank you so much. I'm glad that I could provide that. Thank you. Let me make sure I'm caught up on YouTube real quick, and then we're going to go on to the debate real quick. If you're on YouTube, make sure to like that stream. Let's try to get to 2,000 likes, everyone. For the 3,000 people in the stream, make sure to like the stream. Seems like not many people have been liking today. If you're on YouTube, make sure to tap, or TikTok, tap that screen. Let's try to get to 1 million likes, everyone. Cheryl, thank you so much for the $10. I really appreciate it. Democracy Dies in Darkness, thank you for the $5. Simon, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. Jane with the $5. Thank you. I really appreciate it, everyone. Thank you. Democracy Dies in Darkness for the $10 again. Libby with the $10. Thank you. Gage, thank you for the $2. Deanna, thank you for the $5. Nicole with the $5. El Valentine, thank you so much. I appreciate the $10. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. The Proud Atheist, thank you for the $2. Anthony with the $10. Martin with the $2. Gage with the $2. Thank you. Garrett with the $5. Thank you. Emma with the $5. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think I'm caught up completely. So why do you support Donald Trump? Lion of God,
do you want the list or do you just want 1 point?
Go ahead and give me the list.
Okay. Immigration, foreign policy, the economy, tariffs, big beautiful bill, stopping wars,
Anything else?
Israel. Bro, why'd you make that face?
Like you support? Wait, do you support Israel starving Palestinians?
No.
Okay, so then what would it be on Israel? Like not funding Israel?
No, I think we should fund Israel. I do think they do some
While
bad
they're starving
things.
Palestinians, mass starving Palestinians and genociding them?
They're not genociding
They
them.
absolutely are. What are you talking about? Right? So you don't think mass intentional starvation of a population, right? The mass killing of the population, the complete decimation of their entire communities, right, is not genocide? The expulsion of them from their communities without a right to return and taking over the land right after? That's not genocide to you? What is genocide? Tell me.
I think it's a intent to kill a group of people specifically. So yes, Israel's
So like
doing
so
bad
like shooting
things.
people that are going after aid after you blocked aid going into the region, like particularly intentionally starving the mass majority of the population by not allowing enough food trucks to go in specifically to feed the population. Not even a third of the amount that the population would need to be able to feed themselves. So like how is that not intentionally murdering Palestinians?
Because I think they had issues with the aid trucks, with the aid getting stolen.
Oh, okay, so it was just Hamas stealing the aid? How come that was not internationally reported on? How come it was Israel that was the one internationally reported on, saying that they were blocking aid from going into the region? How come the UN indicated that to be true? How come human rights organizations around the world, international...
You're saying it's not reported that aid was stolen?
Not specifically of Hamas as the mass reason for why Palestinians didn't have food. That was not the mass reason. The mass reason was Israel was not allowing aid into the region. And then whenever Palestinians were able to go and get some of the aid that they allowed in, the very small portion, not enough to be able to feed the entire population, they were shooting at people going to get it. You can't tell me that's not genocide. You can't tell me that's not purposeful ethnic cleansing. You can't tell me that's not purposeful annexation of the land. You can't tell me that's not purposeful mass starvation of the population, which is a war crime as designated by the UN.
I'm just going off of the ICJ's findings that they found that there wasn't a genocide. I'm not too...
I would love to see where the ICJ said that there was no genocide.
Well, they didn't say that they didn't find evidence. They didn't like make a conclusion that there was. They were like agnostic on the issue, I'd say.
Wait, so can you make a determination of whether or not there was a genocide? Wait, actually, do you accept their determination that Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal?
Yes.
Okay. But you don't. So then,
there's definitely definitely
how many
crazy
people? How many
moving
people need to die for you to consider it a genocide?
Okay, so the thing about genocide is wait, do you know what the like components of determining if something is genocide?
I'm just asking you under your view. How many people need to die for you to consider it a genocide?
I don't think it's a number of people. I think it's the intent behind it.
Okay, and then how?
Like, do you
so then
think? Wait,
what
wait.
conditions? What conditions need to be met in order for you to understand that this intent is true?
Wait, I have a quick question. Do you think World War One was a genocide? Like, let's say
Do I think
between
that
France
there
and
were?
Germany.
Do I think that
any
there were?
genocides happened?
Do I think that there were genocides within the context of World War One and World War Two? Absolutely. And now we can go through those, and we can actually talk about what my view is. And again, could be separate from other people's understandings of it. But what specifically about the intent is not met in this certain scenario?
Yeah, I don't think there's a highly specialized intent that they're trying to kill civilians.
So mass starving the population, not allowing for enough aid to go into the region to be able to feed people in the region. That's not intentionally meeting that set of criteria?
I don't think so.
What? What are you talking about?
Wait,
I'm sorry. They are intentionally mass starving civilians, and you're not considering that to meet the standards of intentionally trying to exterminate, in part or in whole, an entirety of a population. That's exactly by the UN's definition of genocide. Considered the definition of genocide. Like literally, like that. They are intently killing innocent Palestinian civilians. By starving
have any
them
authorities
to death.
come out and said that they were committing a genocide?
Does that matter to you? What does
yes,
wait?
I
by the
think
way,
people going in and determining.
Wait, so again, given that it is the case that authorities do determine something, you would say it's an accurate determination?
Yeah.
Okay, then do you accept the civil liability case against Donald Trump for sexual abuse?
Good one. Bro, okay. I can't argue that case because I don't know enough about it. But I know
you
that
don't accept
happened.
it just because the professionals
Just
indicate
because
that.
it happened in New York. And
Wait,
I
thought you accept stuff just
because
because it is the case that there's a determination from officials.
Okay, I'll add another.
There was a unanimous decision from a
qualifier.
jury.
A
The judge said that he
authority.
raped her. So then, what is enough for you? I thought officials were enough for you. Apparently, it's not now.
Yeah, if the source is biased, then obviously I'm not going to believe
Source is
it.
biased. How was the judge biased? What was the judge's name?
The judge? I don't know what the judge's name was.
So you don't even know who the judge was, but they were biased?
Did they have political leanings at all?
No, not at all. None that was able to be
I'm not
identified.
saying they were.
By the way, they have determinations of this before to determine what judge should be and whether or not there'd be a conflict of interest in relation to the judge. And it was determined that there was not a conflict of interest in relation to the judge that would have made it insofar as that they wouldn't be able to make an accurate determination. But not only was it just the judge, but it was a unanimous decision of 9 jurors.
Who picks that?
The jury selection process? Also Donald Trump's
No,
lawyers.
who picks the judge? Like, who makes sure the judge is fair?
I'd have to go back and check, but I know that there's a full a litigated process for it.
Okay, I don't really know enough about that case, but like if I see it was like legit, I would say yeah, I would condemn him for that. But I just really don't know enough about it.
Okay, but
is that fair?
Okay, so but you don't think okay, so you can't make a determination then. So then why are you so much more likely to make a determination on whether or not it's genocide, given the fact that it's given that you didn't given the authorities haven't said anything yet, under your view?
Yeah, because I haven't seen any reporting on it. I just made like a conclusive.
But like there was reporting that Donald Trump's a sexually abused Eugene Carroll. You don't accept that?
Well,
so then,
yeah,
I'm confused. Do you accept reports?
It.
Yes or no?
If I review them and deem them not to be biased, yes.
Okay, so then you have to review them and deem them not to be biased. Okay, so
Yeah.
then specifically, have you? Okay, but like again,
so then why are you? The Heritage Foundation says something, you should believe it.
So then you didn't review it. You didn't review it when it relates to this. When it relates to the Eugene Carroll case, so then you were making a determination that it was biased prior to the point in which you looked at it.
No, I don't
Secondly,
know.
You said that it was
biased
not
or
a genocide. You made that claim, right?
I said I don't know.
You said that. That was a
I said
determination.
the ICJ has found that there has not made a determination.
No, but you said that secondarily after you saying it was not a genocide.
Well, yeah, because that's what I'm basing it off of.
Okay, so if you no, you don't just base it upon. Okay, so again, you just say even though it meets the set of criteria for the definition that you provided, you're saying because it hasn't been reported on yet, you don't believe it. So until something's reported on, you don't believe it, even if it's true.
No, the ICJ did review.
Even if there's
it
evidence to indicate it.
No, the ICJ did review it. They did report on it.
So again, on the conditions right now.
I don't know Has anyone done it recently?
So then does that have to be the case? What is your definition? right? We met the set of special criteria, and then you then pivoted off of the special criteria for intent, and you said, "Oh,
I don't
even though it
think
meets
they're-
a set of special criteria for intent, I still don't care."
No, because I don't. It doesn't seem like a genocide to me. Like if it was genocide, I think they would be intentionally. Like, why is it that they evacuate buildings before blowing them up? Why is it that they even let any aid at all come in ever? It's just like stuff like that. It's like I don't see them intentionally trying to kill every Palestinian.
You don't have to be intentionally trying to kill every single Palestinian. It's in part or in whole. But you're trying to exterminate Palestinians for being Palestinian, right? And that's exactly what's happening here. That's exactly what we're pointing to. They are intentionally mass starving Palestinians, right? They're not allowing enough food to go into the region, which is mass starving Palestinians.
I don't know if
there are literally have been kids that had sniper bullets in the back of the head. Explain to me how that wasn't intentful.
I don't know. I would have to see the specific case.
Okay. But no matter how many cases I gave you, you'd still say the intent wasn't met.
Well, okay.
Like,
so the
I
thing about
seriously,
the food-
I don't know how your reasoning here isn't any different than any fucking person who's ever fucking justified a genocide in history. Seriously, you're using the same set of justifications and arguments used throughout history to demean the fact that it's genocide when it's blatantly obvious. It's
Wait,
at
so
the
how did
point
you
where
come to
it's
your
so
conclusion?
it's at the point where it's so blatantly obvious that the fact that you don't realize it to me is actually concerning to me. It's blatantly obvious. How do you not see that? Not only that, but by the way, we didn't even mention any of the other things. Like, you thought Donald Trump was stopping wars? Donald Trump is not stopping
he
wars. He
stopped the
bombed
war
Iran.
between-
What are you talking about? How is bombing Iran stopping wars?
It's stopping the capability of war.
And name one way he stopped the wars.
Yeah, so he mediated peace between the Pakistanians, or between Pakistan and India. And
In what way? Because that was not reported on by both sides. Both
It
sides
wasn't?
did not indicate that to be true. I would love to see any reports that indicate that both sides indicated that he was an important aspect of the negotiation process for peace.
Wait, what source would I have to show you that that's true?
And AP News, NPR, PBS, Reuters.
So, do you think he takes credit for that?
Wait, him taking credit is not reason to believe that he did it. He takes credit for so many things.
Was he involved in that process whatsoever?
He stood next to them.
Yeah, so you don't think he mediated at all?
Give me any evidence that he did.
Okay, I'll go find AP News, Reuters article.
Okay. You like to support me as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Linktree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat as well. But what's good, everyone? Make sure to tap that screen. Make sure to like the stream here on YouTube as well. Helps get it out to more people, everyone. What's good, everyone? Do tap that screen. Do share the live. What's up, everyone? Do give it a second. I'll probably add someone up here in the meantime to help. Oh, did you find it?
Except the Washington Post.
What's the title?
Let me get it real quick. The title's "The U.S. helped deliver a India-Pakistan." Or wait, it starts like that. The U.S. helped deliver an India-Pakistan ceasefire, but what will it hold? Washington Post.
But will it hold? Washington Post. Okay. But the battle lines have changed. No, they changed the title. It's now. Oh, and it's actually, I can't even click on it because it's. Can you read it? Because I can't get access to it unless I buy Washington Post.
Oh wait, I just read the headline. I don't even know what it says.
Go get a source, bro. Instead of just
Bro,
reading
you
a
can't-
headline. Zach, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Wait, so
Thank you.
I have to come
Seriously,
back with the whole article?
It is.
Okay, I'll
actually.
just concede. I
Deadpool,
can't.
thank
I
you
can't
so much
argue
for the
this one.
$5. Thank you.
I don't have an article that I can pull up. Unless you really want me to like go get an article, read the whole thing, and then report back to you.
I mean, I would love for you to do that because I would love for you to like look into like the research here. But I do think that we've obviously met a set of criteria in the live that shows that you're insane. You don't care about Palestinians being starved to death. You don't give a shit.
No, I care. I care about them. I think any
So,
aid that
should
get,
we stop Israel from doing that?
we should incentivize them to let as much aid get into Gaza as possible.
And how do we do that?
By pressuring them with the funding.
Okay, by saying
the
we're not
assistance-
going by an arms embargo.
Yeah.
Oh,
something like
okay.
that.
So you support an arms embargo in Israel?
No.
Why not?
No, like if we came in and said we need this to happen and they disagreed, then I would support it.
Wait, no. Why don't you support an arms embargo in Israel?
Because I don't think they've discussed like, hey, you need more aid to get in, or else we're gonna, like, you have to threaten it first, and then if they
Really? So like, I mean, I'm sorry. You just like think it's okay for like countries to commit war crimes and for us to just like be like,
No.
you know, we're not gonna like do an arms embargo on countries that are committing war crimes. I have a question. Do you think we should respond to Russia and Ukraine?
yeah, we
Why?
are responding to them. We're giving them
Why?
military weapons
Why?
because Russia illegally invaded Ukraine, and we have a deal with them.
Isn't
And
that
the,
exactly what Israel's doing?
Well, Israel was attacked first. This is a defensive
So
war.
wait, you think it's defensive that they're going to illegally annex and they're starving Palestinians? They're blocking aid from going into the region. You think that's currently defensive on their behalf? This is insane. That's an insane take. To say that that's defensive is ridiculous.
Well,
they're
were
they're
attacked
literally
first on
going
October
into
7th, right?
illegally annex them.
They were attacked first on October 7th, right? And then all the attacks
When you
after
say
have been-
first, that's a ridiculous claim, given that Palestinians were killed a day
Okay.
prior, given that Palestinians have been killed for generations, right? For generations. You understand that their land was stolen. The Nakba led to 750,000 Palestinians being ethnically cleansed from the land. Their fucking communities stolen from them. And you're going to sit there and say it's self-defense.
Okay, so all the actions Israel took after October 7th were a result of October 7th. Like, obviously they had a response to October 7th, right? Where they were first attacked.
Do you think that their response was good?
No, there was definitely a lot of
okay.
problems.
And do you
No,
understand?
not every. Okay, it can,
So then,
war
okay,
is hard.
How are you going to distinct what Russia is doing from what Israel is doing currently? How can you distinct the two? Tell me.
How can I distinct? Because I think Israel has the right to protect itself, and Ukraine has the right to protect itself.
So
What's the
right to
distinction
protect
between-
itself? So you think right now them engaging in war crimes by intentionally starving Palestinians? You think that's self-defense?
They're not intentionally starving.
They are intentionally. That's been determined by the international community. What do you mean they are not doing that? That is
Who in the
literally
international community has determined that?
Okay. So do you want me to send you multiple different reports from Al Jazeera, from specifically AP News, from Reuters, from NPR, from PBS, from basically every media source that's been reporting on
Let's
us?
say the starving is intentional.
Yes, from Israel. Yes, that they're intentionally blocking aid from going into the region.
Okay, I believe you. But I don't know. I'll have to research this more, and then maybe I'll come to my conclusion. But I also wanted to talk about the border. What are your thoughts on that?
Anyone who's in the country undocumented who hasn't committed a violent crime or bad crime should be given a pathway to citizenship where they don't have to leave the country.
Yeah, do you think it's good that he stopped illegal border crossings?
Do I think it's good that he stopped? No, I don't think it's good that he specifically wants to mass deport people and is violating people's due process rights. I think that he's undermining people's constitutionally protected rights.
That wasn't a response to the question. I was referring to border crossings.
Yeah, I think that the way he's doing it is bad, and I think that there being people coming to the country is a good thing. Now, if you're referencing people coming undocumented, inevitably speaking, we would, right, specifically reduce how many people are coming undocumented, but that would be by providing a legal process that's quicker. So I disagree with the way that he's responding to it.
Okay.
I disagree with how it went down too. So the
There's
way
this
it went down
concept
was
in
bad.
medicine called stop the bleeding. When we have millions of people crossing the border, we first have to stop the bleeding, right?
So
Like,
what
before
do you
we
mean
could
by
do anything
bleeding?
else with-
What do you mean by bleeding?
Yeah, like having a bunch of border crossings that from undocumented immigrants. I would say first stop
the
that.
best way the best way to deal with that is specifically by providing legal pathways in which go significantly quicker. So put the $130 billion that you just put into ICE.
Well, first you
into
need a secure
militarizing
border.
ICE. Put that into making the legal process go quicker.
Well, you know that if crossing illegally is incentivized, that people aren't going to go through the legal process, right?
Wait, repeat that one more time.
Yeah. So if you incentivize people crossing illegally, people aren't going to go through the legal process of immigration.
No, we're incentivizing people to go through the legal process by making it significantly quicker. So it would
Well, you can do it that way too, but
disincentivize people to go through the process undocumented.
well, that's a way of
because they would be
incentivizing it.
able to have better working conditions by going through the process through the legal way because it's significantly quicker. That's how you incentivize people to go through the legal process and to not come to the country undocumented. Otherwise, under your view, you're not actually going to do that because if you don't make the process quicker, then people are still going to try to go through the process undocumented, and that's still going to happen. The idea that there has been 0 border crossings in this country that are undocumented under the
I know it's
Trump
not 0.
administration under any month is ridiculous.
Yeah, I know it's not 0, but it's drastically reduced. But between this term and the last term, right? You at least acknowledge that.
Repeat that one more time.
You at least acknowledge that there's a drastic drop in the crossings, right? Between this term and last term.
Sure.
Yeah, so I think if we
think
first
that's
secure
bad.
the border... Okay, you think it's bad because of our legal process, but I think that we would first have to secure the border to have a legitimate legal process. That's just my opinion.
When you say secure the border, the way in which you want to secure the border is bad. That's not an actual way to secure the border, and the way in which you've been trying to secure the border, historically speaking, has not been effective.
Why? What action are you referring to that of it being bad specifically?
Deporting people who have not committed violent crimes and bad crimes, right, and not making the legal process go significantly quicker. Democrats are trying to do at least one of the two by trying to make the legal process go significantly quicker.
How the two things you just said don't respond to how that makes the border more secure.
The border is going to be more secure if more people are going through the legal process because it's quicker.
If you have a completely open border and there's no penalties for crossing it, less people are going to use it than if we had a strict border and a good legal process.
A strict border and a good legal process?
Yes.
Okay, a strict border and a good legal process. So, again, when you say a strict border, you're saying you want people to be deported who have not committed violent crimes and bad crimes, correct?
I think if you're in the country and you've been here for a while and you're contributing, I think giving a pathway is fine.
Okay.
But there's a lot of people that
So then you
probably
want undocumented immigrants to get a pathway to citizenship if they haven't committed a violent crime and bad crime.
certain ones
Which certain
and
ones?
deport. Yeah, people that are a net positive on our country.
Yeah, who haven't committed a violent crime or bad crime.
Well, that's
So then
a
here's my
criteria.
question. If someone was held civilly liable of sexual abuse, would you let them come into the country legally?
Bro, we just talked about Eugene Carroll. I can't go back into this.
Why not?
I don't know enough about it. Because I told you I haven't looked into this.
I don't think you need to.
It took place in New York.
By the way, I don't even think you need to look into it to be able to make a determination on this.
It took place in New York, where the jury would definitely
You should
have
know
a
that given that there was a
strong
jury of
bias
9
against them.
people that unanimously determined this, that you should believe that it is the case because juries are most accurate in these types of circumstances. And if it was anyone else other than Trump, you'd fucking believe it. But because it's
Okay.
Trump, you don't believe it. Then you have to look into it. Then you have to do so much research that you never end up doing in the first place because you're so scared of not having your support for Trump anymore. I doubt that you're
Wait.
actually going to go and end up looking into it.
Wait, so what if Biden was being prosecuted for a crime and you had 9 Trump supporters on the jury? Would you accept that case?
They weren't all Democrats. That's not true.
They were in New York, and New York has a strong Democratic.
Not everyone votes, along with the idea that the Trump administration was a part of the jury selection process.
Yeah, I just don't think it's possible to select a jury of someone like Trump.
So any court case that happened in New York, you wouldn't accept because of that. It's ridiculous.
No,
he
not
literally- what?
every case. Every case with a divisive political character like Trump.
Okay, so again, if Trump had any case against him in New York, you wouldn't accept it.
Probably not.
You see what I mean? He doesn't accept it just because they're in the context of politics. If it was Biden, if Biden was held civilly liable of sexual abuse in the context of fucking Texas, would you believe it?
No, because
Why
it would
not?
be a bunch of.
I would
Texas
believe it.
isn't actu-
I would believe
okay,
it.
Texas isn't even that red, so that's not even a good example.
What?
Okay, it's red. There's redder states than Texas, right?
Pick one.
I think Wyoming and Montana are super red.
Okay, if Biden was found liable for sexual abuse in either of those states, I would still believe it.
Really?
Yes, absolutely, I would still believe it.
I don't know if I believe you.
I do.
Like
You should.
a
I do
super
believe it.
red
I would.
state.
I would totally believe that.
I think we should have like a better process for like presidents and political figures that
This is a good. This
I
is
know.
wait. By the way, there was a lot of evidence, right? The reason why it was in a civil case is because of the fact that there was statute of limitations. So statute of limitations shouldn't exist for sexual abuse. It should have been a criminal case.
How many years were the statute of limitations?
5 years. Anything past 5 years, you can't try them in a criminal case, regardless of the level of evidence in New York.
And when
That's
did,
insane. That's insane, right? Do you agree with me? That's insane.
yeah. Well, why did they have that in the first place? Like, what is the argument for that law? Do you think we shouldn't have any statute of limitations at all?
I don't think we should have any statute of limitations for sexual abuse cases. Not at all.
So then why did New York
I don't
have
think
it?
there's any good argument for it.
Okay.
I think it inevitably just protects like violent offenders, violent sex offenders like Donald Trump.
So you don't think the time between the when it happened and when you bring the case is important?
Not in the context of sexual abuse cases, because it is the case that we're referencing sexual abuse, right? And it is often the case that sexual abuse victims will not come out right away, and it takes them decades to come out because of the societal stigmas that exist surrounding coming out about sexual abuse that restrict victims from coming out, right? Do you understand that these societal stigmas are actually made worse by people who support Donald Trump and engage in grape apology for Donald Trump just because he's a political figure? Dude, again, I would believe this if it were Joe Biden held civilly liable of sexual abuse, and I would not support Joe Biden because of that. Like,
Okay,
seriously,
maybe
this is not a
maybe
political
specifically
thing
with-
for me. This is not me just trying to go after right-wing people just because they're right-wing. This is a legitimate case where he was held civilly liable, unanimously amongst a jury of 9 people, and you should accept it. You should, realistically. This is absurd. You should not be
what do
okay
you
with
think-
this amongst your politicians.
Okay, what do you think the strongest piece of evidence they presented was for that case?
So one aspect that wasn't even in the context of the case
The
that
dress?
wasn't fully presented was the dress that had unidentified male DNA on it, where Donald Trump didn't give up his DNA within the multiple years, which is why it wasn't submitted as an aspect of it. Because
Yeah, but then why is it
Go ahead.
when he tried to give it up, they didn't accept it?
That's disingenuous because it is a case that was after the time slot allotted that he was able to give it up for, right? And he only did that to be able to extend the case, knowing that it would never be accepted. He wanted
Okay,
to
I don't think there
extend how
should
long
be
it took.
limitations on when evidence.
That's what the judge said, by the way.
I don't think there should be limitations on when evidence can be presented, just like how you don't think should be limitations on when the statute of limitations for rape.
I think it should have been accepted too. But that doesn't
Oh,
change
you do?
that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it should have been accepted too.
Well, then obviously him submitting it shows that he was confident enough.
But he knows that it's not going to be accepted because they can't violate it in that type of way that we would want it to be. I totally agree with you. It should have been. It should have been totally accepted. They should have taken his fucking DNA and they should have tested that shit. I think it should have been mandatory. I don't think he should have a choice in the matter.
Well, I guess we'll never know whose DNA that was.
So again, Donald
So other than that dress, do you think it?
why didn't
was
he
that
give it
not
up
just a
within
he
the time?
said, she said?
Okay, I have a question. If he never met E. Jean Carroll, why didn't he give up his DNA? To prove that he wasn't at the scene of the crime, because the DNA obviously wouldn't be his under.
Did
his
he ever
DNA,
say
right?
that he'd never met her?
Yes, he did. And then there were shown
Okay,
pictures of
well-
them together. He said that he wouldn't have sexually abused her because she's quote unquote not his type. But then in a deposition mistook her with his ex-wife, indicating that they're either both his type or both not his type, so he would have sexually abused her either way. This guy lies, and you eat it up like it's fucking candy.
Well, yeah. How is that not just a he said, she said, though? Like, if that's the strongest evidence and we don't even have, like, conclusive evidence on whose DNA it was, I'm not buying it.
So why didn't Donald Trump give up his DNA? Because, again, if you were in that context...
He just did it later.
Actually, let me ask you this question. Would you have given up your DNA within the time slot allotted?
In that context, I'm not
if,
sure. I
if you
don't
never
know.
met her, if you knew that it wasn't yours, would you have given up your DNA to prove that you weren't at the scene of the crime? Especially to better your election prospects.
What if it was consensual and now she's coming back and Like,
Then
I'm not
why,
saying this
then
is
why
what
didn't he,
happened. I'm saying this is-
then why didn't he claim that?
I don't know.
Why did he claim they never met? Why did he lie? Why is it the case that you specifically point to her possibly saying something that could be a lie, right? Versus Donald Trump actually lying. Right? Like,
Well,
why don't you look at
how do
he
you know that
literally
they-
lied and she's been proven over literally multiple decades to be telling the truth?
Wait, why are you making the assertion that he wasn't lying? Or that he was lying?
I just proved
Like,
it to you.
no, what evidence is there that he did meet her or did know her
There was
before?
pictures of them together on multiple
Oh.
occasions. Also, like, they knew each other and they were literally engaging in the same communities at that time period within the context of New York. Coral, thank you
Yeah,
for the
so I
$5.
would say
Thank you.
I would say a plausible reason why he didn't give up his DNA is because maybe they had consensual.
So
and
then why
then
didn't he
she's-
claim that?
I don't know. Maybe his lawyers were like, "This isn't the best defense."
Wait. Okay, what do you mean? His lawyers were like, "This isn't the best defense." This is what he claimed himself.
Yeah, probably out of like advice from his lawyers.
So you think
legal
lawyers
advice.
tell you to lie? You think a lawyer would tell him and instruct him to lie?
Wait, isn't lying in court illegal?
Yes, if he was on the stand under oath.
Was he under oath when he said that?
And at the deposition?
Yeah.
I would have to, yes, he was. So him lying there, saying that he wouldn't have sexually abused her because she's quote unquote not his type, but then in a deposition mistaking her with his
Yeah.
ex-wife, right? That would be him lying under oath, yes. But in
Yeah, so let's-
terms of that, right, we can point to him lying under oath all the time, by the way.
Yeah. So then, if that is the case that he was lying under oath, why didn't they charge him with lying under oath? Because that's a serious charge. You can't lie in court.
Yeah, so again, in terms of this, as it relates to the plausible deniability of him claiming he just didn't remember.
Well, they
right?
have a picture with him. Obviously, if he said that under oath,
but
then-
he could just claim he didn't remember that happened, and then they grant it as not a lie, even though it was clear that he was trying to lie. Also, like when you reference like perjury, like you think perjury is a serious charge, but SA isn't.
well, they're both serious charges.
So
obviously,
okay, but like, so what's your point?
I'm not saying SA isn't a serious charge. I'm just saying I don't know enough about the case, and I do know that it took place in
Well,
New York.
clearly you're not accepting it.
I'm not accepting it because I think that with a person like Trump, who's as divisive as that, taking place in New York, I think it's impossible
You just
to
like,
have it.
would you accept a criminal case that determined Donald Trump was convicted based upon beyond a reasonable doubt in New York for sexually abusing a child? Would you accept that?
Well, how is that different?
Wow.
What? No.
Wow,
I meant
so
like
you would still
No,
support
what's
him
the
in that
standard in
context?
civil?
Wow, you would
No.
it's preponderance of evidence. So would you still support him in that context in the criminal court
No.
situation?
No, because there's a higher standard.
Okay. So what's the difference in the standard?
Yeah, you said preponderance of evidence, and you said beyond reasonable doubt. That's a big difference.
What is the difference between preponderance of evidence and beyond reasonable doubt?
I think. Well, there's not like an actual. You can like survey people, and you can ask them like. Wait, you can't be disagreeing that like they survey people, and there's different ranges of what people like themselves consider beyond reasonable doubt, right?
I'm asking you, what is the distinction between beyond
For
reasonable
me
doubt
personally,
and
I think it'd be
preponderance of
like
evidence?
95%.
What
certain.
is preponderance of evidence?
I don't know. I've never heard the term before.
So then how
I'd have
were
to
you
look.
going to make the evaluation of what it was, right? In terms of
It
saying you
sounds-
accept one but not the other, but you don't even know what preponderance of evidence is.
that's a good point. I don't got anything. Look,
Isn't that kind
it
of
took place in
embarrassing,
New
bro?
York. That's the only defense I got. It took place in New York,
Yeah, that's not a defense.
bro. If I know you say if Joe Biden was prosecuted in Wyoming, but I know 99% of Democrats, unless you're like the rare exception, would not accept
we
that.
accept the 2024 election results, right? We didn't do the same bullshit you guys did with 2020. We could have easily done that. I could have fucking run with that. I could have been arguing that every single day, and people would have totally believed it, right? You know that's possible, right? Because there's
don't know if
actually
they
like
totally
there are
believe
better
it.
arguments that exist out there, right? For literally 2024 being rigged over 2020 being rigged. Did you know that?
There's
There were people
like
that
if Kamala
believed
was to come out and
there were
complain.
Trump supporters that believed the election was rigged in 2020.
Yeah, because
And it is the
Trump
case that-
supporters are way more diehard than Kamala supporters. If Kamala said that, they would definitely not run with that like Trump supporters. Trump supporters are way more diehard.
Okay, so you're saying Trump supporters are more cult-like. I agree. Trump supporters are more cult-like.
Define cult.
Again, just follow him no matter what.
Follow him no matter what. What percent of people that voted for Trump would you say are in that category?
I don't know. Maybe
You don't know.
47%.
So do you think he's been a disaster in the second term?
Has he been a disaster? Yes.
Yeah, and 90% of Republicans still support him and his approval.
90. Yeah. Oh, so 90% of Republicans. Wait. Repeat what you just said. Repeat. Sorry.
Yeah, so they, in the approval ratings, 90% of Republicans support him, and you say that his term has been a disaster. So is it higher or lower than 40% of diehards?
Oh, I mean, I do think that. By the way, when I was saying 47, that was just like a random number I just said, based upon
Oh, because
like.
it's President 47? I see.
Yeah, like I was just saying a random number. I wasn't like specifying like this specific number. I said I don't know what number.
Wait, so what? So you say his second term has been a disaster so far. What is the single worst thing he's done?
I don't know if I could say single worst thing. I could give you multiple things he did that were bad. Is that okay?
You don't have a thing that you're like, this is the worst thing he's done so far?
I don't like qualifying differences between like what is the worst thing.
Okay, yeah, give me the list then.
Okay, so like he's violated due process rights. He specifically passed the Big Beautiful Bill, which is decreasing people's access to food stamps by 2.4 million people on average per month, right? Along with over 10 million people off their health insurance, right? Decreasing after-tax income for the bottom 20% of income earners, and for the bottom 10%, decreasing their after-tax income by $1,200 per year. Along with the
I don't know if I disagree with that.
What you don't disagree with what?
I think able-bodied people on Medicaid should have work requirements.
Why? Wait, what benefit? What
because-
benefit do you get from this? Like, if you could provide, like, say in a random hypothetical scenario, you could provide Medicaid and food stamps for free, no cost to anyone, right? From a governmental perspective, even, would you be okay with it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so then
If there's no cost to it.
So it's only about like whether or not you're going to save something from a governmental perspective. So who's more fiscally responsible, Donald Trump, right, or Kamala Harris? Well, actually, Kamala Harris and the Biden-Harris administration are significantly more fiscally responsible than Trump because they added $4 trillion less in debt-related spending under their administration signed into law, according to the Committee for Responsible Federal Budget, comparative to Trump's first administration, where he did $8.4 trillion overall, $4.8 trillion non-COVID related, compared to the Biden-Harris administration, $4.3 trillion overall, $2.2 trillion non-COVID related, signed into law.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. The economy was way better under Trump than Biden, so.
The economy was way better under Trump than Biden. Okay, so
Yes.
So you said it was better under Trump, and based on what metric?
GDP growth.
GDP growth. So actually, GDP growth for real GDP growth is essentially the same. And since Trump has become president, real
Between
GDP,
Trump's first term and Biden's second term,
Trump
it's not
is-
the same.
Wait, I would love to see your difference between the two because it's on the same trend. But like, if you want to look at the Trump's administration since he got in office, real GDP growth has declined to 1.3%.
Well, yeah, because he implemented the tariffs. Like, in the long term, it's going to be good for GDP, but in the
Nope,
short term...
not at
they're-
all. There's no good evidence that tariffs are good for GDP in the long run.
I mean, we got that big old deal with the EU, didn't we?
That was for private trade. That has nothing to do with like.
No, that was an aspect of it, but they did accept the tariffs we put on them. And there was...
that reduces trade, so that reduces their investment into our country.
Yeah. That is a tariff.
So you want to reduce their investment into our country?
Well, we're not reducing their investment, we're reducing trade. Those aren't the same thing.
Yes, it is. If you reduce trade with a country, you're reducing how much their country is investing into your country.
So what do you think about all the big chip factories that have been built here?
That's due
Like
to the,
Apple-
the
like-
Chips and Science Act, due to the Biden-Harris
No.
administration.
Like, the Apple CEO guy just came out and said that like we're
They do that
investing-
every administration.
They do?
Yeah, they do that every single one. They did that with Biden. They announced it because they try to placate with like the president to be able to get better.
Wait,
more
what's that guy's
favorable-
name? Tim what? This Apple guy. What's his name?
Tim?
Yeah, it's like Tim is. I forget his name. I'm gonna look at chat.
Tim
Chat, you
Cook?
know. Yeah, Tim Cook. That guy was low key kind of glazing him. I'm not gonna lie. Seriously, they do that with every administration?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what? So, that trade deal had nothing to do with the tariffs.
I'm
Like,
saying
how can you?
I'm saying that you actually reduce
Wait.
trade between countries when you implement tariffs.
Okay, it's not about whether he takes credit or not. Do you think that trade deal was good with the EU?
No.
Why not? What do you not like about it?
Tariffs are bad, right? And typical, especially universal type tariffs. I also
Do you
don't like
think
the
targeted tariffs are
deregulation on
good?
AI. Targeted tariffs in some contexts are okay.
Do you think it's better to, like, if you had to choose between across the board tariffs and no tariffs on someone like China, what would you choose?
Across the board tariffs or no tariffs?
Yeah, on someone like China, what would you choose?
It depends on what the across the board tariff is. I'd probably go with no tariff.
Like across the board, as in like it's all imports from China are tariffed.
All imports from yeah, I know what a universal tariff is. I'm saying I disagree with that.
Okay, well, I would say that for someone like China, I would agree with a blanket tariff on them
Why?
because they're our biggest adversary and they cheat us all the time.
Wait, how does a tariff reduce the level they quote unquote cheat us?
Because we're trading with them less.
Okay, if you want to trade with them less, why is Donald Trump buying their products for his own gift stores and gift shops? If you go to a Trump hotel and you go into the gift shop, you'll literally see made in China on like 60% of the stuff that's in the store. Right? Why is he continuing to trade with China while also simultaneously saying, right, we need to tariff them more?
You can still trade with China. We're just making it more competitive with the tariffs.
You're not making it more competitive. No, that's not how it makes. That's not how it works.
Yes, China cheats and steals our intellectual property.
Okay, it has nothing to do with tariffs.
Yes, it does.
And the U.S. cheats and steals China's intellectual property.
Really?
Yeah, dude. You understand that practically that same statement could be true for like most countries around the world? And there are some instances where that's true.
Okay, what's stopping me from stealing someone's intellectual property then?
Yeah, that's
that-
like certain types of regulations. Since there are no international regulations, that happens from a country to country basis, right? But if you look at within the context of the United States, you can limit that from happening within the context of the United States because you have an enforcement mechanism of the government. If there's not an international enforcement mechanism for such particular international or intellectual property, then how are you going to stop them from doing that?
I mean, I didn't know about that. You do know a lot, Parker. I'll give you that. Wait, okay. It's time for the silver bullet to your whole ideology. Joe Biden's health cover-up. Go ahead. I want to see you explain that.
What about it?
Yeah, Joe Biden ran and probably.
I don't think he should have ran in 2024.
Did you? Okay, the Democratic Party let him run, so then you agree with me.
What do you think is worse? The quote unquote cover up of Joe Biden's mental health and whatnot and cognitive health, or
Jake Tapper wrote a
or
whole book
Donald
on it.
Trump pardoning violent
Quote, unquote.
rioters on January 6th and inciting a violent insurrection at the Capitol, and then calling them patriots after he pardoned them, after they beat cops.
I think that was just payback for the
Payback?
pardons. That was payback for the pardons Biden did. Yes.
What?
Yeah.
What pardons? Biden wasn't even president yet.
What?
Yeah,
No,
but
no.
at that point, Biden wasn't even president
when
yet.
Trump-
Biden hadn't pardoned anyone. He wasn't president
No,
yet.
we're saying the day of the pardons, not the day of January 6th.
Oh, sorry. I apologize. Yeah, I apologize because I was referencing him inciting a violent insurrection at the Capitol and then pardoning the people. On
He
January
didn't
6th.
incite the insurrection.
He
bro.
did. He did incite it.
How?
He said he told them to fight like hell and take back the country that's being stolen from them. And
That's
then
just strong rhetoric.
and then after that, he pardoned the people who
If he
violently
really wanted
assaulted
to
police
be
officers.
violent, he wouldn't have said stay peaceful.
Okay, if he didn't want the violence, then why did he pardon violent rioters on January 6th who beat
Because
cops?
Joe Biden pardoned a bunch of people.
Were they any violent? So wait, why would he pardon violent rioters because Joe Biden pardoned people? Like what?
Because because you have to play by the same standards the other side's playing by.
The other side didn't pardon violent rioters.
They pardoned very evil people.
Who?
Fauci, Hunter Biden.
What
bunch of people
What
on
did
the
Fauci
January
do?
6th
What did Fauci do that's so evil?
He said he was a big proponent of the whole COVID lockdown scam. You disagree?
You think he deserves? You think he deserves to be prosecuted because of that? Because he advocated for lockdowns
Okay, not because of that.
during a
That's just
pandemic?
why I personally don't
During
like
a
it.
global pandemic?
Wait, if you're not culpable
come
of
on.
any
Come on.
if you're not culpable of any wrongdoing, why would you pardon someone? Like if you did nothing wrong.
Because Donald Trump specifically wanted to go after them and said he would go after his political opponents. So that's why.
Well,
But and said, wait, why are
if
you
he had
saying?
nothing to hide.
Are you saying that Donald Trump is justified in pardoning violent rioters on January 6th?
Yes, you have to play by the same rules that the other side's playing by.
You think him pardoning people who assaulted police officers is justified?
I'm not saying it was good. I'm saying because Biden pardoned a bunch of evil people, so did Trump.
Dude, you said Biden pardoned Fauci, who's evil, and you're saying him advocating for lockdowns is on the same type of evil as someone violently assaulting a police officer?
Okay, it wasn't because of the lockdowns.
What the fuck is wrong with you? How are those comparable? How are those comparable? How is that comparable to a violent crime?
No, Biden pardoned Fauci because obviously he was culpable of he did something illegal,
Like what?
or else he wouldn't have pardoned him.
What did he pardon him for?
I don't know. Ask Biden. Well, I pardoned him if he did nothing illegal, right?
A preemptive pardon specifically because Donald Trump said he was going to go after them.
Even
That's
if he does
why.
go after him, he did nothing
So
illegal.
what
so
did he
who
do?
cares?
What did he do? What did Fauci do?
We'll never know because he got pardoned.
Okay, so you
We would have to have an
don't know,
investigation.
you don't even know what he did, and yet you said that that's comparable to Donald Trump pardoning violent rioters?
Yes, a pardon's a pardon.
Okay, so by the way, you think pardoning violent rioters is the same as pardoning, say like Joe Biden pardoning his son?
No, it's not the same.
No,
but a
it's not the
pardon's a
same.
pardon.
Okay. So obviously a pardon is a pardon, no fucking shit. Thank you for telling us that. No one knew that. A pardon is a pardon. Wow. Insightful information you just provided the classroom. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Wait, also, why are you pivoting off of... This was about, okay, Joe Biden's health cover-up, and then you bring up January 6th
But
pardons.
I asked you which one is worse and you didn't answer.
Okay, you're trying to hold me down to the point after pivoting off of my point.
Is it-
And I'm trying to hold you down to my point.
Would you like to answer mine?
I asked you mine first.
No, you didn't. I asked it first.
Aha, good one.
I know, right? That was really
Okay,
funny, wasn't
repeat
it?
the question.
No, you go for it, man. I'll be nice.
Okay, Jake Tapper wrote a book about the overall cover-up of Joe Biden. How do you not see that as a problem? I think that is disqualifying for any future Democratic candidate that the DNC...
No. I think that's a pretty minimal thing to worry about in comparison to Donald Trump.
You think
Like,
having
but,
a
but, like,
guy
I just want to let you
know-
know. Do I think covering up Joe Biden's health is a good thing? No. Like I do think the cognitive decline that he showed was clearly showing that he should have stepped down for running, and him still deciding to run is a clear detriment to our ability to win the election. It was.
Well, there you go. That's the reason I voted for Trump. Because
That's
maybe,
not a good reason to
who
vote for
knows,
Donald Trump.
Maybe if they didn't cover up Joe Biden, then I wouldn't. I would have voted Democrat.
Wait. So you're saying that one thing, them trying to cover up Joe Biden's cognitive health, is worse than
That
Donald
is a
Trump
major
pardoning
issue.
violent rioters on January 6th. It's worse than him saying he dated a 10-year-old girl in 10 years, being held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman, saying little brag about walking into the changing rooms of girls in Miss TSA because he quote unquote owns a place to inspect them without their consent. Where there's an 18-year-old that came out said there was 4 girls as young as 15 years old. Right? I mean, don't what Joe Biden did, or I mean, what Democrats did in terms of
Why are you going after
saying that Joe
personal
Biden
attacks and not
didn't have
policy?
cognitive decline and it was as sharp as attack is comparable to that?
Why are you going after personal attacks and not policy?
What do you mean? Wait, why are you going after personal attacks? This isn't a policy that you brought up.
The policy of the Democrat Party was to run.
That's not
Joe
a policy.
Biden.
Wait, that's not a
I mean,
policy.
it
What's
is.
Can you name one?
It's a political policy.
Name one Biden-Harris administration policy you disagree with.
The American Rescue Plan. The
Okay, name
CHIPS
one
Act,
provision. Name
the
one.
Inflation Reduction Act.
Okay, name one provision in any of those policies that you disagree with.
The investment into green energy.
Wait, why do you disagree with that?
Because I don't think the government should be getting into private business like that. Like if green energy is
So
going to
do you,
be
do you
competitive,
support
they
fossil
shouldn't
fuel
need to
subsidies?
No.
Okay, well, they exist under Trump, and Trump agrees with them. Trump literally went to big fossil fuel companies and said that he would give them $110 billion in tax cuts, right, if they gave him $1 billion for his campaign.
So that's just politics.
That's just
Joe
politics.
Biden probably got a bunch of.
So him being corrupted by him literally trying to be corrupt with the big fossil fuel companies, that's just politics, right? But Joe Biden wanting to invest in, and Kamala Harris
Joe
wanting to
Biden
invest
probably
in
got a bunch of
renewable
money
energy.
from green energy companies.
No, he didn't. No, in terms of green,
I'm sure if I looked into it, he did.
I mean, sure, you say he did, right? Does that change anything? Like that's still good. That's still good policy and effective policy. Do you think climate change is an issue? Your dog disagrees with you too.
That's not my dog. That's my neighbor's.
Yeah, and he disagrees with you. He said, "Shut the fuck up. You're speaking bullshit over here."
Bro, that dog's probably a Republican. You don't even know.
No, that dog is a lib at heart.
A lib at heart. What do you
Yeah.
think he thinks about Joe Biden's dementia?
Joe Biden has never been diagnosed with dementia. What does he think about your consistent lying?
They killed Medicaid, by the way.
That doesn't mean he has dementia. By the way, my grandma had dementia, right? And she died in combination of COVID and dementia during COVID. And it is the case that there's a clear delineation between dementia and what is going on with Joe Biden. Joe Biden has cancer. He's been diagnosed with that, but he's not been diagnosed with dementia. And there'd be no reason why he wouldn't be diagnosed with dementia if it were true.
The reason they wouldn't is because they tried to run him again, and they would have
You think they're gonna run him again?
No, like I'm saying.
So then why wouldn't they diagnose him now?
Because he's already like not running. They don't want to like stomp on the dude's grave.
Well, they diagnosed him with cancer.
Yeah.
So then why wouldn't they diagnose him with dementia if he has dementia?
Because that's humiliating to our
How is
country.
it humiliating to our country?
Because we had a guy with dementia.
How is someone having dementia humiliating? Right? It could be
because we have the 25th Amendment, and if people knew that he had dementia and we were just covering it up, that'd be a disgrace.
Wait, there was no evidence that he had dementia at that point.
No, you're saying if it is the case that he had dementia, or you're saying why would they cover it up, and that's the reason they would cover it up.
No, that's not even what I said. I said specifically in terms of why would they not say that he has dementia now?
Yeah, because they don't want to like disgrace the country by saying that we had a guy.
Then why would he say? Then why would he say they say he has cancer? Why wouldn't they just say that he didn't have cancer?
That's not the same.
What's the distinction from your perspective? Because you're looking at people particularly having things such as dementia and such as cancer, right, as this type of debilitating thing insofar as that like we would be looked at in a less respected way from a global stage, given that this would be applicable to the president of the United States. Which, by the way, Donald Trump was also diagnosed with like a vein issue. That I'm confused. Does that make us look worse or on a world stage?
No. I think the difference between dementia and cancer is that cancer's like symptoms are much different than like dementia, where you like start forgetting things, and it seemed like retrospectively that a lot of people were saying that he had a cognitive decline and didn't want to speak up and say anything about it.
Wait, he does have cognitive decline. That's not disputed. So does Donald Trump. But that does not mean he has dementia. You understand that there's a distinction between those things. You can't just go around saying people have to have dementia, okay? Because then people can make that same claim about Donald Trump.
Okay, I'm sorry, not dementia. He had severe cognitive decline and wasn't suited for running again. And they only wanted to announce that after a bad debate performance.
And that same thing is true for Donald Trump. Donald Trump has severe cognitive decline and is not fit to be president of the United States.
I mean, you can say that.
If you cared about cognitive decline, you would have supported Kamala Harris over Donald Trump, given that Kamala Harris had significantly greater cognitive abilities than Donald Trump. Significantly greater, not even close.
If a massive like conservative reporter or like figure like Jake Tapper on the other side, so like if Tucker Carlson came in and wrote a book about a cover up, then I would agree with you. But as of now, no. We can say that we have concrete evidence that people knew that he was in cognitive decline.
Wait, if Tucker Carlson brought up a cover up, you'd believe it? Well, he did that with Israel.
On what cover up is that?
You should go listen to his takes on Israel now.
Okay, maybe not. Tucker Carlson's kind of wild. That guy kind of.
Oh,
he's
now
kind of a
he's
Russell
wild.
Simmons.
Now he's too wild, chat. You see how
Bro.
quick you see how quick that was? As soon as he
Okay,
heard that
Charlie
Tucker
Kirk, Charlie
Listen,
Kirk, Charlie
as soon
Kirk.
as he heard that Tucker Carlson was like pro-Palestine to any degree, to any of the
No, he's
slightest
also
degree.
pro-Russia. You're right. I shouldn't have said him. I don't actually like Tucker Carlson. Charlie Kirk. If he came out like who's actually someone that speaks with Trump, and is like, you know, he's in there. If he wrote a book, then yeah, I would say that's equivalent to what's happened with Joe Biden.
Say that again, sorry, repeat that.
Yeah, so like Jake Tapper came out.
You
someone
brought
that
up
had, like,
Charlie
insider-
Kirk. Can we talk about how that's ridiculous? He's also
Charlie Kirk
dude,
speaks with Trump.
he also says ridiculous shit, right? He literally tried to make the
To you.
argument. He tried to make the argument that the reason why the Russia-Ukraine war happened was because Kamala Harris, right, went to Ukraine and told them that told Russia that they want, or told Ukraine that they should join NATO, which never happened. That literally never happened. And then he also said
Wait,
that Putin was right.
Ukraine doesn't
And
wanna
also,
join
Also, by
NATO.
the way, he said that Putin was right in reference to telling Donald Trump that there wasn't election interference on Russia's behalf in the 2016 election, which was proven to be true by a Mueller report, proven to be true by multiple different intelligence reports from the U.S. Special counsels. Right, we can point to that, and that's actually very clear evidence that Putin was not right, and yet Charlie Kirk is going on Jubilee in front of 30 million people and saying that Putin was right in that context. Or technically, that wasn't on the 30 million episode.
What do you
that
think
was on
Tulsi
the
Gabbard
Twibbly
has to
episode.
say about that Russia story?
What's up?
Did you read that? Did you read the Tulsi Gabbard briefing?
Yeah, the complete pivot away from the Epstein files.
Bro, why do people care about the Epstein files?
Oh, why do we care about the Epstein files? Because we want to hold pedophiles accountable. And your side literally advocated for that from the very beginning. Trump said he was going to do it, and now he's not going to do it. Now they don't exist. Really?
Yeah,
So
if they existed,
why
Joe
do
Biden
they
would
care?
destroy them.
Would you support Donald Trump if he were implicated in any child sex trafficking crimes with Epstein?
No, obviously.
Okay, if he was on the
If there
Epstein,
was files, Joe Biden
if
destroyed
if
them.
he was on the Epstein files, would you still support him?
No. Or
No?
yeah, I would support. No. I meant no as in like if he was on them, I have to see. Like you could be on the Epstein files as like someone they're
okay, so
getting
you would
information
still
from.
support him if he were on the Epstein files, correct?
No, it just depends on what he did. There's something about on the files that's special. It's if you were like engaging in that activity, right?
Interesting. So
You don't disagree with that. So why are you saying interesting?
No, it's interesting that you don't acknowledge that one, there was a 15-year relationship between Epstein and Trump in which they considered themselves
I do acknowledge
bestest of
that.
friends, in which Donald Trump said that he was a terrific guy and he likes beautiful women as much as he does, many of them on the younger side, alongside the fact that he thanked and actually wished well Ghislaine Maxwell in 2020.
Bro, I hear people all the time saying, "Hey, my friend likes younger girls," and that means like 20.
What? How old are you?
19.
What? Who's saying this? You're 19.
Yeah, older guys will say like,
That's
"Oh yeah, I'm
disgusting.
into girls younger than me," and then they're 20.
By the way,
Younger girls doesn't mean
to clarify,
underage.
if they said that to Jeffrey Epstein, who is a known child sex trafficker, would that
How
be
do you
any
know-
different under your view?
Okay.
Again, I one, consider that
At
weird.
the time, Trump
but
didn't know
two,
that he
would that
was
be
a sex
considered any
trafficker.
different to you? One, anyway, if it was said in that context, I do consider that fucking weird. Yeah, totally, that's weird. But two, right, I'm saying in that context also with Jeffrey Epstein, right,
Trump didn't
doesn't that even
know.
make it more weird?
No, Trump didn't know.
What? What do you mean Trump didn't know?
When
Wait,
he said
what
Jeffrey
reason-
Epstein is a terrific guy that likes beautiful women as much as he does, that was before
Many
the,
of them on the younger side, he didn't know. He had no clue.
Yeah, that was
When he
before
said he would
the
date a 10-year-old
2004
girl in 10 years. When he
That was
called his
before
daughter
2004.
voluptuous, which means curvy and sexually attractive, said he'd be dating his own daughter if it wasn't his daughter, and said yeah to
That was
Howard
before
Stern calling his daughter a
2004.
piece of ass.
Are you going to address what I'm saying?
You understand in all of these set of circumstances, right, were points in which he knew Epstein.
Yeah, but you don't have any evidence that he knew what he was doing. This was before 2004.
I'm saying that there's a lot. Okay, if there is no evidence under your view, then there's a lot of things that are associated with each other. Like Donald Trump saying that like he likes beautiful women as much as he does, many of them on the younger side, to a guy that is a known child sex trafficker that had an island where they would sex traffic children. Where actually Donald Trump specifically talked recently about how Virginia Guffrey specifically was a worker for him when she was 17 years old as a private masseuse at Mar-a-Lago, and that Epstein specifically, quote unquote, stole her from him, right? And then later, right, which again we know this, right, Virginia Giuffre came out about everything that happened with Epstein and talked about the role that Epstein and Ghislaine played specifically in sex trafficking her and grooming her to engage in sexual acts specifically through the context, right, of these situations. Now, that specifically was known by the public, and yet Donald Trump never came out and talked about the fact that he knew this was the case, that Epstein did this until now. Why did he only talk about it now?
Wait, thank you for giving the case for why Trump is innocent, because he wouldn't have cut ties if he saw anything wrong with that.
What?
Yeah, so Jeffrey Epstein stole the 17-year-old, right? And then he cut ties after, with Epstein, right?
He cut ties not because she was a 17-year-old and she was sex trafficked, but because he didn't want, apparently he didn't want Jeffrey Epstein taking his clients or taking people who work for him.
And where are you getting that from?
But himself. Trump said that.
He said that?
Yes.
Okay, well, he had a problem with it, either way. And he cut ties with the guy.
For not because he was a child sex trafficker, but because he was quote unquote stealing employees that were his 17-year-old, right, private masseuse that then was later sex trafficked and groomed by Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell.
Well, he didn't know he was a sex trafficker, and then after he was found to be a sex trafficker,
he had no clue. He had no clue. Then drop the Epstein files.
They were destroyed under Biden, if they even
They were
existed.
destroyed under Biden. What evidence do you have of that?
I don't have any evidence. I'm saying
he just said they were destroyed under Biden, but I have no evidence that they were destroyed under Biden. But then also Trump says that there were a hoax created under Biden, Clinton, and the Obama administration. So is it a hoax created by the Clinton, Obama administration and by the Biden administration? Or is it the case that they was destroyed under the Biden-Harris administration?
It's not a hoax. I don't know why he said that, but like I'm saying, if they did exist,
what? Wait, no,
and Trump was on them.
No, actually, tell me why he said it was a hoax.
If Trump was on them,
why
did
he lie and say it was a hoax? Right? Why did he lie and say it was a hoax?
I don't know. But
That's
like,
a
if he was
pretty
on,
big thing for you to
stop.
explain.
If he was on them, they would use that for the election. Yes or no? Yes, they would.
If it was unsealed and they had access to it, they dropped things specifically like flight logs in which they did have access to. Now, if they had access to something they didn't drop it, then it would probably be that there were some other Democrats on it, and that would be implicating of them, and they should not be supported either, right? If that was true. Now, we specifically have to look at the AG, Merrick Garland, in that context, right? Specifically for what was going to be the case. And obviously, he wasn't like very strong on holding Republicans accountable.
Well, you just proved the point that Democrats are on it and they didn't want to drop it. So
no, by the way, I said that is a possibility, and in that possibility I wouldn't support any of the Democrats that specifically knew about it and still protected it, like Donald Trump is currently.
Okay, well, if Trump was on them, I wouldn't support him either. We're in the same boat.
He is on the files.
Okay.
So being on the files, having that type of relationship with Epstein, and all of these different indicating factors, along with the fact that Donald Trump was held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman, all of these indications specifically point in line with the fact that Donald Trump did know, and that Donald Trump did have reason to believe that Epstein was engaging these type of behaviors, and that likely there was some type of affiliation between them two. Now, that's because of the probabilities of all of these other disgusting behaviors of Donald Trump in the very first place. It indicates that there's good reason to believe this is true about Donald Trump. Not to say that's 100% the case, but to say that it's best, all the best evidence is indicating towards this because of everything that Donald Trump has done.
I think just because he was friends with him and then he broke ties, even before we found out he was a sex trafficker,
He didn't tell us about the information. Why didn't he tell the public about this after Virginia Giuffre came out?
I don't know. Maybe he forgot about it or thought it was important.
Then why did he tell us about it now?
Did he tell us or was it someone else?
He randomly told us.
I'm pretty sure they had the,
He just forgot, lol. Like, I can't believe that.
I actually don't know. I'm just saying this is a possibility. I don't know. I don't know.
You will go to the extents of the fucking earth to be able to defend this guy no matter what.
Bro, you are the same way. You're literally
No, I'm
paid by
not.
the DNC, bro.
You think I'm paid by the DNC? What reason do you have to
Yes,
believe
you
that I'm
pop
paid
at all
by
the
the
same
DNC?
talking points that every Democrat does.
Oh, great. Let's see what evidence this guy has to believe that I'm paid by the
Trust
DNC.
me, bro. Trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro. You have no evidence? You saying trust me, bro, is embarrassing.
No, are you pulling up the Trust Me, Bro book?
I will in a second.
I was preempting you.
No,
I was trying to.
Pippi, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. I really appreciate
Oh.
it. Thank you. Stevie, thank you for the $2. Ashley with the 80 cents. Thank you. Lucila, thank you so much. I appreciate the $5. Thank you. The Only, thank you for the $13. Thank you. Kai with the $5. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Katrina, thank you for the $10. Oh, is that all the DNC? Beers, thank you for the
That is all
$5
from
from
the
the
DNC.
DNC. Thank you. I know. It's actually diabolical, Beers. I know, right? That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, do you know that?
Thank you, everyone,
Dean
for the
just-
DNC money. Thank you so much. Coral with the $5 from the DNC. Simon, thank you for the $10 from the DNC. Coral with the $10 from the DNC. Zach with the $20 from the DNC. Coral, thank you for the $5 from the DNC. Amra, thank you so much for the $10 paid for by the DNC. Thank you. Cassie, thank you so much for the $3 from the DNC. Brianna, thank you so much for the $1 for the DNC. Stephanie, thank you for the $2 from the DNC. Amanda, thank you for the $2 from the DNC from the Trust Me Bro Fund. Do you actually think
you
I'm
know-
paid by the DNC, or are you just saying that?
Well, I'm extrapolating because Dean is, and you're closely associated.
Do you think
with Dean.
Dean's paid by the DNC? Christian, thank you so
Yeah,
much
he
for the
literally
$4.20.
openly
Thank
admitted
you.
that he went to
Taylor,
a
thank you for the
fundraiser in
$5. Thank you for the
California.
DNC. Ali, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you. I took him to that very conference that you're referencing, and that was not
you go
him
to it
being
too?
paid by the DNC. No, I did not go to it. But I did. That does
It
not
was
mean
a
that.
fundraiser event. What do you think that means, bro? Use your brain.
Wait, he was going there specifically to talk to different people who were rich and specifically in the community to say where they should be putting their money to best help the Democratic Party, right? And specifically being able to try to affect, right, change to help marginalized communities. That's what he was going there for. Now, you saying he's paid by the DNC specifically because of that is absurd.
Yeah, he went to a fundraiser.
Sayo, thank you for the $6. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Just thank you for the $2. Thank you. Wait, that's not the DNC. Pretzel, thank you so much for the $1. Christian
Okay,
with the
it's not the
$4.20
DNC,
from the DNC. Thank you.
It's a bunch of rich Democrat elites.
So then what makes
I'm
you
sure-
think that I'm paid by the DNC?
Because Dean is.
Okay, I just
And
want to let you know, Dean did not have a platform when I was streaming, and Dean literally started his platform working with me, right? I've known him the entire time since he started. He's not paid by the DNC. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, you're part of the cover-up, bro.
I'm part of the
Thanks for
cover up.
listening.
You are trolling, dude. You got to be trolling.
He went to a fundraiser
That's
event.
not fucking the DNC at all. That's not the DNC,
It's rich people that support Democrats.
which is not the DNC. There's a big difference.
I'm sure the crossover is massive between those people at the fundraiser. and
Dog
people
Mom,
in
thank you for the
DNC.
$2. Thank you. Dude, I would know if this was true. It's not.
I guess we'll have to agree to disagree.
Okay, you think I'm
Would you
paid
ever
by the
publicly
DNC?
release
You're
your payments?
unbelievable. Allison, thank you so much for the $1 from the membership subscription. Thank you. Release what payments?
All your payments, all the money you make. Would you publicly disclose that to clear your name?
What do you mean? Like me like you people can see everything that I make. I say it out loud. I publicly disclose it every day.
No, we see the donations. We don't know.
I
what
literally
you're
publicly disclose my donations every single day. This guy
Yeah, we
doesn't
don't know what
that.
you're getting paid
Brian, thank you
secretly.
for the $10 from the DNC. Thank you. Kennedy, thank you for the $40 from the DNC on Venmo. Thank you so much, Kennedy. I appreciate the $40. Thank you. Literally, like actually every single one of the donations that I get, I say out loud. I literally publicly
Yeah,
disclose
that's the
it.
donations. That's not like secret payments.
Secret
Those-
payments.
those-
What secret payments am I getting? Ruby, think of the $5.
I don't know, man. It seems kind of suspicious that you're such a Democrat puppet.
You got to be trolling. Dude, okay, so
I'm
I'm a
not
Democrat puppet. How am I a Democrat puppet?
You say you are the most like. You are the biggest defender of the Democrats.
No, I'm not.
You don't defend the Democrats,
Pretzel,
and you
thank you for
don't
the $1.
say.
Thank you.
You don't
Calvin,
advise
thank you
people
for
to
the
vote
$3.
for
Thank you.
Democrats?
I am not a Democrat cult member. That's not my view.
Bro, you'll defend them to the end of the
Crystal,
earth.
thank you for
Everything
$2
you
from the
said today,
DNC. Thank you so much. No, I won't. I literally disagree with the DNC all the time.
You are a blue. No matter
Jamie, thank
who
you so much for the
kind-
$10 from
Yes,
the
you are.
DNC. Thank you so much. No, I'm not.
You're talking. Would you ever vote for a Republican?
If they were a better candidate. Like if Kamala Harris were a
You are
Republican.
trolling, bro.
If-
No,
if-
you are trolling.
I'm not. If Kamala Harris were a Republican and Donald Trump were a Democrat, given the same policies that they have, I would support Kamala Harris as the Republican. Chad,
Would
thank
you
you for the
vote for
$5.
a
Thank you so much for the
conservative?
DNC. Thank you.
Not a Republican.
Like ideologically,
Like a
I disagree with conservatives ideologically. Would I vote for
Yeah.
a conservative ideologically, given certain views? If it is the case that the liberal ideologically was such a horrible person, yes. Like if the liberal can like as their character like was held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman, I wouldn't support them.
Like
Dogmom, thank you
sleeping
for
with
$2.
Willie
Thank
Brown.
you, Liliana. Thank you so much for the $5. Thank you.
Willie Brown?
Wait, having consensual intercourse with Willie Brown is not even relevant to the conversation we're talking about right now. Why'd you just randomly bring that up? Do you want to talk
Because
about
you're
Donald,
saying
do you want to
you're
talk about
talking
Donald
about
Trump
Democrat
engaging in
characters and still
adultery?
voted for
Do
Kamala.
you want to talk about Donald Trump engaging in adultery with Stormy Daniels, cheating on his pregnant wife? Platy, thank you
I
so much
don't
for
know
the
anything about
$5.
that.
Thank you so much for the DNC money. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the $5 from the DNC. Thank you. Emily,
Bro,
thank
the
you for the
DNC
$2
actually
for
loves America.
Kyle is jealous. Kyle is so
You're the
jealous.
DNC's special boy.
Brandon with the $50 from the DNC. Thank you so much. I
They
really
love you,
appreciate
bro.
it, Brandon.
I'm insane.
Can we get some W's for Brandon in the comment section right now for the $50 from the DNC? Thank you so much, Brandon.
The DNC loves Parker.
THJ,
Let it
thank
be
you so
known.
much for the $10 for the secret payment from the DNC. Eli with the $5, thank you so much for, as someone who's
It is-
followed and known you for 3 years now, I can attest that Parker has been doing this since he had 14 viewers. Anyway,
Yo,
here's
that
money
guy
from
right
the
there
DNC.
that just spoke, that guy's paid by
Pippi,
the
thank
DNC.
you so much. I appreciate the $1
That guy
or the
that right there
$10.
is
Thank
paid by
you.
the DNC.
Dia, thank you for the $10. Thank you.
100%.
Okay, you're being ridiculous. Do you actually believe this? Like, or are you just like trolling to make me money? Like, that's what you're doing. It sounds like you're trolling to make me money.
I'm suspicious of Dean. That's that fundraiser event, bro. I don't know, man.
That's not
I'm
the
just
DNC.
extrapolating.
That's not obviously not the DNC.
He went to a fundraiser event of powerful rich Democrats.
Yes, that's what he should be doing.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Why wouldn't he do that? If you have the ability to influence people with lots of money to put their money into things in which you think are beneficial to politics, would you do that?
Well, obviously you're supporting that because that's what
Mark,
you do.
thank you for the $2. Thank you. Marie, thank you so much for the $16. Thank you so much for the George Soros money. Thank you so much. Thank you for the feather mask.
George
Thank you.
Soros?
Yeah, I got
that
some
person's
George Soros money. How do you feel about that? What about Donald Trump's like Qatar plane?
His what?
The plane from Qatar, the $400 million jet.
Oh, from Qatar. I don't know, man. I don't know why he's taking presents from Qatar. It's kind of weird. Do you disagree?
Yeah, obviously that's weird. But like again, do you think that that's like a
Wait, you know that Qatar funds a bunch of pro-Palestinian stuff in colleges, right?
I'm confused with that. How that means anything.
You're a mega pro-Palestinian stump.
I am pro-Palestine, but how does that mean that I'm supposed to support Qatar?
Because they support Palestine and you support Palestine, so you're ideologically aligned.
Wait, you know Nazis also like label themselves as pro-Palestine?
Yeah, don't you think it's weird that you're aligned with those people?
What? Dude, you mean like there's like a broken clock strikes correct once out of a million different fucking beliefs? The only it's actually
Maybe that's
and
unfair.
they're
You're not
not even
anti-
and by the way, they're not even right on it because the reason why they're being in support of Palestinians is not because of their support for the human rights of Palestinians, but it's because of their anti-Semitism.
You're right. That was unfair.
Coral,
to
thank
say.
you for
are
the
not
$50 on
anti-Semitic.
YouTube super
I
chat from the
acknowledge that.
DNC. Thank you so much, Coral, for the $50 from the DNC. Thank you so much, Ive. Thank you for the $2. Thank you, Rodney, with the $10. Thank you so much, Rodney. Mark with the $2. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it from the DNC. Thank you, Ken, I appreciate the $1 from the DNC. Jessica with the $5. Thank
Hey,
you,
Parker, I have a
Louise.
question. Why
Thank
do
you
you
so much. I
dodge
appreciate the
debates with people?
$20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Kenan with the $1. Thank you. Thank you so much for
Parker,
the
why do
DNC
you-
money, everyone.
Why do you dodge debates with people?
Who did I dodge?
Do you want me to name off people?
Go ahead.
Wait, okay. Do you have qualifications for who you debate?
Yeah. Like I specifically debate right wingers typically.
So, what about someone that disagrees with you on Palestine?
Kyle,
Would you
thank you so
debate
much for
them?
the $5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Hey, that's me.
Kylie. I said Kylie.
Oh,
Jessica,
sorry.
thank you for the $5 as well. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, I was responding to my girlfriend. So I specifically have these types of conversations, Trump-related topic. I will debate it like if they're like, for example, in the context of you, right? You having an insane, absurd position, which I debated you on, and I showed that you were absurd because you're a Trump supporter. So I debate in that
Wait,
context.
do you think supporting Israel is absurd?
I think supporting Israel is absurd. Yes.
So you would support, or you debate someone that supports Israel?
Yes, specifically in the context that they support Donald Trump, and that's the reason why they support Donald Trump. Because my lives and what I do is specifically related to people who specifically support Donald Trump. Appreciate
What
the
if it's
live
like
rankings.
not just for the live, but like?
Am I gonna? So no, I'm not gonna debate anyone on the left. Like if you're specifically trying to bring up someone on the left, like I'm not gonna debate any left wing person.
Who do you think I'm referring to right now?
Destiny.
You know. Why won't you debate him, bro? Why are you scared?
Because he's on the left, and I'm not going to debate people on the left. I debate right wingers. I also think that he has an insane, absurd obsession with trying to find people on the left to be able to critique constantly instead of focusing on the right as he should be. Right? There are
He
people on the
literally
left
just said
that
the
don't know how to actually
un-America
focus.
tomorrow
They
specifically
don't
right
know how to focus specifically on things that actually matter, like debating specifically Trump supporters, right?
You're scared.
All the time, and people like him, right, focus on things that don't matter because he's not focusing on things that actually matter. He's not like advocating against racism. He's not like specifically advocating against any form of bigotry. He's advocating to be accepting of those different types of things and or to specifically defend Israel or the IDF. Like, and those things I think are absurd and ridiculous. And also, again, I don't think are like
So debate
important.
him on it.
Again, I
Don't
think,
be scared.
I think communists hold absurd views in plenty of circumstances. I'm not debating communists. Okay, I'm not going to go and debate a communist that is on the
The
internet.
Israel-Palestine issue is a very big issue.
I'll debate Trump supporters on that specifically, right? But if we're again, I'm not going to be debating communists either. I'm not someone who's specifically focused on targeting people who are on the left. I'm focused on targeting the right. That's what my channel is about. That's what my debates are about. And again, you consider that
You are actually scared, bro.
that's not being scared, right? That's not being scared. That's me saying I'm not debating
Dude, it
people on the
doesn't
left.
matter if they're on the left. They have a different
This is
position.
like
than you
saying
for
why
that
aren't you?
issue.
This is like saying why aren't you debating Hassan? This is like saying why aren't you debating Vosh? This is
You
like
and
wha-
Hassan have the same issue on Palestine. You can't debate him on that.
Wait, I could debate Hassan on his views on socialism.
Okay. I think any
Heather,
debate.
thank you so much for the $10. Thank you. Adonis, thank you so much. Really
Wait,
appreciate the $10. Thank
even
you.
if-
Heidi with $1.
There
Thank
would
you.
nothing-
Kylie, thank you for the
nothing
$5.
would
Thank you so
even be
much.
wrong with
Kenan,
debating
I
Hassan.
really appreciate the $1. Thank you. Well, I just don't think that's the most productive thing to do, to debate him on his socialist beliefs right now. I think the most productive thing to do is specifically for me to debate, right, Trump supporters, right, specifically on their views to get people to consistently change, right, on their views to shift the
there's
Overton window.
People with insane views
I-
on the left.
Yeah,
You're not gonna.
Wait, I don't think it's meaningful for me to go and debate socialists. I really don't think it is. And also, at this point, I don't even think this conversation is meaningful at this point.
You're scared.
How am I scared? You're not even
'Cause you
actually
won't
debating.
debate
You're not
Destiny.
even debating me on anything meaningful. You've been on my
You
live
won't debate
for
Destiny.
an hour and 17 minutes almost. I'm not debating communists either.
You won't
Pretzel,
debate
thank you so
Destiny
much for
because
the dollar.
he'll destroy you in Palestine.
Okay, so do I think communists are going to destroy me on that because I'm not debating
No.
communists? Okay, you just made yourself look like an idiot. Get off my live.
No,
You're
because
wasting my time. Wasting my time. Totally wasting my time. Over an hour. Jesus Christ. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria on the screen, everyone. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria on the screen. Romy, thank you so much. I appreciate the $20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Romy. Thank you. Get some W's for Romy in the comment section right now. Thank you so much, Romy. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria on the screen, everyone. Kathy with the $50. Thank you so much, Kathy. Give me some W's for Kathy in the comment section right now. Thank you so much, Kathy. Let's get some W's for Kathy in the comment section right now. Thank you so much. Seriously, thank you, Kathy. I really appreciate it. Thank you. W's for Kathy in the comment section right now. They said, please kick Kyle. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. Waste of space. Thank you so much for the $3. Thank you. Crazy. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Who, me?
How old are you?
Oh, I'm 30.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Okay, no, I don't, but I just want to say I support
sure.
you. And
I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you a lot. Thank you for supporting me. I appreciate you so much. I am looking for some debates right now. We're just looking for some debates. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria that is on the screen right now. We are just currently looking for some debates, everyone. Oh. Yeah, I think this was a troll earlier. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. Garrett, thank you for the $5. Thank you. Yo, what's about you?
Thank you. Yo, what's about you?
Okay. It seems like they had an echo anyway. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. If you're on YouTube, make sure to like the stream. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. We'll help get it out to more people. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
you're a fucking bitch. You're a fucking bitch.
How old are you?
You're a fucking bitch.
And how
Go
old are
get
you?
a fucking life. Go get a life.
How old are you?
Go get a fucking life and eat some ass.
You're so
You fucking
disgusting. You're so disgusting. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 20.
Do you support Donald Trump?
No, but Dean's balding.
Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria on the screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Okay, let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone. We're just looking for some debates. Smiling, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $5. Thank you. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
27.
Do you support Donald Trump?
No, but I don't support.
We are just looking for some debates. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump. We are just looking for some debates. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. Alrighty, let's go on to the next person. John, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $5. Thank you. Let's go on to the next person. Sean, thank you so much for the $5.
Buy me
Thank
some
you.
Chick-fil-A. Could you buy me some Chick-fil-A?
Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. We are just looking for some debates. Please, everybody, only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. Let's go on to the next person. Alrighty. If you're on YouTube, again, make sure to like that stream, everyone. By the way, how does everyone like the background on YouTube more? I think this, honestly, like brings it together. My mom actually got me the chair. And I think it looks really good. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Bro, you're awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I like it. I feel like it makes everything look like there's more stuff in the background. It doesn't look so like bland, I guess. Because before it was literally just like you saw the lights. Like it was just like the bare wall. Like there was nothing else. At least now it says like go live on TikTok and TikTok live. So that's cool at least. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Kai, thank you so much for the $3. Thank you. I should be live latest like 10:30. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Okay, let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you do support Donald Trump. We are just looking for some debates. Alrighty. Alrighty. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Nah, I'm out this game, bro. You a bitch, little boy.
How old are you? Okay, let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone. We are just looking for some debates. We'll be on live for another 2.5 hours or so, I'm guessing. 2.5 hours or so. Alrighty. Let's make sure to go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. Jessica, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you.
Parker!
Do you support Donald Trump?
I do.
Okay. How old are you?
20.
Okay, well, what's your birth year?
What was that?
What's your birth year?
My birth year?
Yeah.
Oh, May 24th, 2005.
Okay. So do you support Donald Trump?
I do.
Why do you support Donald Trump?
Because I voted for mass deportation.
Why do you think mass deportation is good?
Because I want to preserve a white country.
You're fucking disgusting.
Hell fuck.
Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone. What a fucking disgusting piece of shit. Let's go to the next person, everyone. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
18.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes.
What's your birth year?
2007.
What month?
April 7th.
April 7th?
Yep.
And do you support Donald Trump?
I do.
Why so?
Why don't we talk about you? Because you used to be a bully in high school, remember?
I was a bully?
Yeah, I could expose you like whole career.
Go ahead.
Send me $10,000 and I'll spare you.
Dude, in high school I would wear sweatpants and a hoodie, and I wouldn't like.
Not high school. I meant college.
In college, I didn't talk to anyone. I didn't even.
Hey, did you?
What college did I go to?
You stuffed people in lockers.
Dude, come on, give me an actual. Can you tell me why you support Donald Trump? Bro,
Yeah, actually, I can. I
bro
probably
brought
can.
up the craziest rage bait ever. Bro
It's
called
not
me
a
a bully.
rage
I'm
bait.
like,
I was
I'm like,
there. I
dude.
saw
I'm
it.
like, dude. In high school, I literally like all I did was like, dude,
I was-
I did my homework at lunch so that I could play more video games later on in the day. Like that was me in high school, and then me in college, right? That was literally I didn't even talk to that many people. I would talk to the people maybe that were around me a little bit. I have a lot of social anxiety, so I didn't talk to a lot of people, and I would just like literally like
spare the
focus on like
lie.
getting my work
Jesus
done to be able to get
Christ.
off.
What
I
a
already
liar.
streamed at that point, so it was literally my life was just streaming.
You're such a liar.
Okay, do you want to actually
You
debate
literally
me?
grab people, stuffed them in, closed it. Like you did crazy stuff, dude. You should
Okay,
apologize.
Okay, yeah.
And I have video proof.
Oh, really? I'd love to see this video proof. You should post it to your account. Can you give me like
Send me 10K. Send me 10K and I won't do it.
Can you give me a reason why you support Donald Trump?
Yeah, because you care so much how people pronounce Kamala Harris's name.
And why does that matter to you at all? Like, do you think that people should pronounce her name correctly, given that they can?
Yeah, I think people should pronounce the name correctly, but you hold a double standard. Do you still call Ye Kanye or no?
I don't even refer to him at all.
Yeah, but if you had to, what would you do?
If he has a preference, we'd yay. But like, is that his preference? I'm not quite sure.
No, that's just what you libs do. Also, why don't we talk about how there was FBI during January 6th?
Lucas, thank you for the $5. What FBI?
DNC.
What DNC?
They pay.
The DNC paid the FBI.
No, I said the DNC pays you. That was just like a snarky comment.
Okay, the DNC pays me. What reason do you believe that the DNC pays me?
Because there's no, they don't pay you directly. They pay a commission or like that one organization, and they pay you. So,
are you trying to think Act Blue?
No, not Act Blue. The other one.
Which one?
There's there's FEC payments to your name.
Yeah, and which FEC payments?
It's the thing, the thing you were part of, the commission thing.
The commission thing? I don't know what commission thing you're referencing.
Yeah, you were signed to like a commission thing, and you were like posted for them.
I'm not signed to any management company. I don't work with anyone in terms of a management company. I've never signed with any management company. I don't even have any sponsorships.
Bear the
Zero.
lies, dude.
The only money that I make on this app is through donations on TikTok, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, YouTube Super Chats, and then also like
You're just trying to
YouTube
plug
ad
yourself. You're
revenue.
naming
That's
all
it.
of them.
That's the only money I make.
All right, bro, you're a bully.
Are you just like trolling or
I'm not trolling. I literally remember you.
remember me where?
College.
Tell me what college you went to.
I still go there, so I can't say it.
Really? You can't say? You still go there?
Yeah, I still go there.
What state are you located in?
California.
Really? South or north?
South.
Really? Okay. So could you say like generally where in LA? Like north or south LA?
North.
North LA. Okay. East or west?
That I actually don't even know.
You don't
East
even
and west
know?
according to what?
For LA. Eastern LA or western LA?
It's in the suburbs, closer to the suburbs. It's not like a
Suburbs where? There's lots of
Like
suburbs
Am-
in LA. There's suburbs
like-
all over LA.
like Monterey Park, Anaheim, that area.
Anaheim and Monterey Park are completely in separate areas.
Yeah, because I don't want to say
Monterey Park is in a completely different area. By the way, I
just-
didn't go to college on that side of LA.
By
the way, Anaheim is also Orange County, by the way.
Also, I don't either. I'm just saying that to spare my safety.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't know shit, dude.
In the lockers, you used to like punch
Yeah.
people,
There were
throw
no
people.
lockers. There are no lockers at my school, by the way. No
Yeah, sure.
lockers.
You
Not a
used to
single locker was
pick
at my
people
school.
up and like throw them.
Jesus Christ, dude. Literally no lockers at my college. Not trolling. Not a single locker was there. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Oh, Parker.
Let's go on to the next person. If you're on YouTube, make sure to like that stream. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. It'll help get it out to more people. What is this guy saying, dude? Raven, thank you so much. I appreciate the $20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Jessica with the $5. Thank you. Thank you. Kai, thank you so much again. I appreciate the $3. He really wanted $10,000, dude. He said you were a bully. He said you were a bully. I know it. Dakota, thank you for the $10 from the DNC. Thank you. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. Everyone, we are just looking for some debates. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria on the screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Dean, 18. Why did you
What's your
bully
birth
that
year?
one dude in high school?
What's your birth year?
2007 in May.
2007, you said you're how old again?
18.
18, what month?
I just said it, May.
Okay. All right, dude, I was just making sure. What's up with your name? Dean sucks.
Yeah, Dean sucks, bro.
Why, dude?
Because he just sucks, bro. Look at my profile picture.
But like, why?
Because he keeps owning the conservatives, bro.
Yeah, dude. Very unfortunate, right? Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria on the screen, everyone. Yeah, Dean is a horrible person. He needs to stop owning conservatives, right? What a horrible person. Kai, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $2. It was. Juno, thank you so much for the $2. Thank you. If you want to support me, as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat. We should be on live for another 2 hours and 20 minutes or so. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, I'm 31.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes.
Why is that?
Well, his ideals are kind of like congruent to my ideals, but I can start with the fact that his policy architecture kind of leveraged recursive entropy, right? And it turned like macroeconomic noise into harmonic divided resonance.
Shut the fuck up. They're totally trolling. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria on the screen.
Wait, could you debate my mom, please? Please.
How old are you?
No. Shut up. No, shut the hell up. Wait, can you actually debate my mom?
Is she right there?
Yeah?
I'll debate her. Or actually, can you get her to come on a different account? Because I don't want it to be your account. I'm sorry. Because you are a fetus. You are a fetus. Just join on a different account. Because I don't want people clicking through onto their account and stuff like that. So, or like bring attention to their account. So I would really recommend it. Join on another account, and then you can just like let me know it's you on that other account. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Kamala's a stinky.
You're disgusting as fuck. So disgusting. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
51.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes.
Is there a way you could go to an area that's a little bit quieter?
Yeah, give me a second.
For sure, just unmute whenever you're in that position. If you're on YouTube, make sure to like that stream. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. Catherine, thank you so much for the $250. Thank you for standing up for women and democracy. Put some W's for Catherine in the comment section right now. Thank you so much, Catherine. I really appreciate the fucking $250 on Cash App. Thank you so much, Catherine. I really appreciate it. Seriously, W's for Catherine in the comment section right now. Holy shit. Thank you so much, Catherine. Seriously, W's for Catherine. By the way, everyone, if you're on YouTube, make sure to like the stream. Let's try to get to 2,000 likes, everyone. We're on the way to 2,000 likes. On the way to 2,000 likes. So make sure to do that. Make sure to like the stream, everyone. Okay, for sure. So why do you support Donald Trump?
Zip it. He's less woke.
Can you define woke?
He's more believable than the Democrats.
Can you define woke?
Well, specifically the transvestite stuff.
Oh, it's fucking disgusting. Using a slur already? Jesus Christ. Dude. Get the fuck off the stream. What? It's not even letting me kick him, dude. It's not even letting me kick the guy. Sorry. Thank you so much. I appreciate the club victories, Purdy. Thank you. It didn't even let me kick the guy. I did go through the other way. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Purdy. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet this set of criteria we have listed on the screen. Let's go to the next person. Already, everyone. Only send a guest request if you meet this set of criteria on the screen. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 18.
I don't know if I believe them. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen, everyone. Charles, thank you for the $5. Thank you. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
22.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Why so? Or what's your birth year, actually?
2003.
Okay, so why do you support Donald Trump?
Or
actually, what month? Sorry, I apologize. What month?
April 17, 2003.
For sure. So,
anyways,
okay, why do you support Donald Trump?
I'll address that in a second. I think it's funny how you were talking about not bringing attention to that fetus's account, but when you were losing that debate, I think yesterday, 2 days ago, you decided to pivot to the guy's daughter that he followed, and continue to prone on that question when his mom or his wife came on and even had to, clear the air. If anything, you brought more attention to that young girl's page.
No, because we never mentioned the account.
Honing on that question.
We never mentioned.
What are you
the
talking
account.
about? How'd you find out about the alleged
other
account?
people did through the context of searching.
So you
through
don't think other people went? You don't think other people went to his account?
So I shouldn't call it out.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying he made it very clear that it was his daughter, and you continued to hold on it.
And after he did, I clarified, and I was like, okay, that makes sense.
No, after
And I
you
stopped.
did, I actually no, you didn't. I was pretty annoyed because if it was,
Yeah, I can tell you're very hurt.
What? Why would I not be hurt? You exposed a young girl to the pub. To
No,
over
I didn't.
5,000 people for no
No,
reason.
I
Yeah,
didn't.
you
That's
did.
just totally wrong.
Why don't you just take some accountability? You did.
Wait, are you saying because I called out a person on the live stream for following a minor?
Yes, no,
that means
because after
like
he
if I
cleared- no,
just
no, after
because
he-
because
hold on, let me
I
speak.
tried to clarify to make sure that wasn't that it was specifically. By the way, chat, I see. I will make sure to do so. Let me know what the account name is. That'd be the best way to tell me. But again, like you're not actually addressing anything meaningful.
I'm not adjusting anything meaningful. You're not even letting me speak.
Yeah, because what
after
you're
he
saying is
addressed the
ridiculous.
fact- because you're not letting me speak, so how would you know what my point is?
I already heard you.
You didn't hear me, so shut up and let me speak. So after he addressed the fact that it was his,
Libby, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you so much, Libby. I really appreciate the $10.
of course,
Thank you.
because you know you're in the wrong.
Thank you, Libby. I really appreciate the $10. Thank you.
Mute me if
I
you're
really
wrong.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Good boy. So after he addressed the fact that it was his daughter, you continue to hone on the question.
I can just kick you, you fucking idiot, by the way. You can hop back in the guest box, but don't do that on my live. Christina, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Please talk about how he gutted the human trafficking department. Of course. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Christina, for bringing up attention to that. That's amazing. Thank you. By the way, what's the person's name? I'll talk to the mom, and then we can go back to the other guy. Actually, I mean, we'll talk to the guy because I see his account. Just let me know the account in the comment section. Did you like that? I kicked you instead of muting you?
No, I'm just happy that I got you pretty mad. You were so mad.
I'm not mad for kicking you, dude.
You're mad, so you kicked me. Why? What's the other motive for kicking me?
You're mad. Now tell me to say good boy.
So weird. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like you just have. What does that mean?
Or no,
Tell me to say
that's not what I meant to say. I meant
Yeah,
to,
yeah,
I meant
yeah. You're weird.
I
Yeah,
misspoke. I misspoke, dude. I misspoke. I meant to say tell me that you're going to call me a good boy if I say anything, right? That's what I was going to say and I missaid it. So cuz I was going to preemptively make it so that you can't do that
yourself, bro. Nobody cares.
Well, I'm going to explain myself.
Bro, can you just
Are you mad?
debate?
Are you mad that I'm explaining myself?
No, you're just embarrassing yourself. I'm trying
How
to
am
say
I embarrassing myself by explaining myself?
Because you're having to explain a joke that you already missed on. So let's just leave it at that.
No,
alright?
I just explained it because you couldn't understand it.
Exactly, because it made no sense. Because you misspoke.
No, it didn't make sense to you.
What are you talking about? Anyways, okay, cool. Anyways, what are you gonna ask your chat to type one if it made sense? Look at you. That's what you're about to do, isn't it? You're such. Stop trying not to laugh, bro. That was funny. You know you were about to do that. Anyways, yeah. So let's speak about how you are all for trans rights. So do you not believe a woman
Pivot.
is a woman? Actually, hold on, let me ask you this question
Pivot.
first. Pivot.
Pivot.
I'm trying to. What's on your screen? Why do you support Trump? Okay. Anyways, so
why do you support
let me
Trump?
ask you this question real quick. Okay. Because I agree with his stance on climate change. I agree with his stance on.
You agree with his stance on climate change? No, listen. He agrees with his stance on climate change, Chad. Let's listen to this.
So I think one area of mutual agreement and priority is vegetation management. But I think we want to work with you to really recognize the changing climate and what it means to our forests and actually work together with that science. That science is going to be key, because if we ignore that science and sort of put our head in the sand and think it's all about vegetation management, we're not going to succeed together protecting Californians.
Okay. It'll start getting cooler.
You
just watch.
I wish science agreed with you.
Hey, well, I don't think science knows, actually. I met so many of the homeowners.
Did you hear it?
So I think
I actually didn't hear it. So if you want to play it again.
Okay.
So I think one area of mutual agreement and priority is vegetation management. But I think we want to work with you to really recognize the changing climate and what it means to our forests and actually work together with that science. That science is going to be key, because if we ignore that science and sort of put our head in the sand and think it's all about vegetation management, we're not going to succeed together protecting Californians.
Okay. It'll start getting cooler.
You
just watch.
I wish science agreed with you.
Hey, well, I don't
You're
think
saying you
science
believe in
knows, actually.
science?
He cut him off, so he didn't even hear it.
Okay, whatever. So I really don't care about that. So you believe in science?
Yes, I believe in science. Do you?
Okay. Of course I do. So that's going to lead into my next point. So why do you...
Is he gonna wait? Hold up. So you believe that the climate change is real and that the temperature of the planet is increasing, right?
No.
No?
Well, by very small margins. Very, very small margins.
No, not
We're talking
not compared to
definitive
historically.
margins. We're talking about 0.2%.
So do you agree that climate scientists acknowledge that climate change is caused by humans?
Yeah, I think they use data that how should I phrase this? I think the estimates that they've made.
By the way, chat, I see the account. Thank you for telling me in TikTok. Thank you. I'll make sure to get the next.
Dude. Your chat has to be botted.
How?
There's no way this chat's full of bots.
Wait, why do you think it's botted?
I don't know. There's some of the things they say. It's actually like unbearable. I think this is
Like what?
your chat is I don't know. It's just like how they like blindly follow you on everything. Like when you say something wrong, they'll just like, oh yeah, no, you're right. It's just like kind of unbearable.
Can you
Anyways,
tell me one thing that they went with that I said that was wrong?
Point out one thing that they've said that's wrong. No, I can't pinpoint one thing. But over the course of being on your lives, I've seen a couple examples. I can't pinpoint one right now. I'm not sure if that'll satisfy your needs here. Anyways, so like I was saying, what is that, bro? How about you focus it so I can see what it is? So it says, yeah, go on and try and focus it. You're just gonna give up because it won't focus. Put your good boy. Trust me, bro. Okay. So your source for all right. So you believe in science. Okay. So then why? What's
Good
your
boy,
deal
by
with?
the way. Thank you for reading it.
What?
Thank you for reading it. Good boy.
Was that supposed to be your get back? Anyways, so look, why do you believe? So do you value women?
Yeah. Jim, thank you so much for
So
the
why do you
$25.
believe-
Thank you so much from the bots. Thank you so much, Jim. I really appreciate the $25 bot money. Thank you. So
why
bots
do you
can send me
believe-
money?
why do you believe-
when could bots send me
Shit,
money? I
dude,
didn't know
don't care
bots
if
could send
send
me
you
money.
bro.
What?
You should stop bragging about your money. I don't
Sarah,
care.
thank you so much for the $5
Um,
from bot for 4,067. Thank you so much, Sarah. I really appreciate the $5. Thank you.
So you believe a man can just get up and get a procedure done and become a woman, right?
I don't think procedures would make people women. I think trans women are women, trans men are men, and I don't think that the procedure is what makes them a man or a woman.
So what does trans mean? Can you define trans for me, or what the abbreviation for trans, or what trans is?
So
What is trans?
the way in which we're referencing like trans people.
No, not the way in which we're referencing. What is trans?
So typically, it's like what people think of it is of the other.
I'm not.
Is how
what is the
people.
definition? I'm asking you what like the like Oxford Dictionary. What does trans mean, or what is transition? What is it? What does it mean?
It's a prefix. So it's a prefix specifically for like in people
Transition.
in typical how people use it, not just for transition specifically, just denoting of
What are you
the.
talking about, bro? In this context, it means transition. Why are you trying to make
Can I?
it?
No, it actually doesn't in this context. Now let me just clarify to you in this context. So when we're referencing someone as trans, we're referencing that there's a distinction between their sex and gender, right? Specifically in terms of what would be the norm associated. So when we reference specifically in terms of for example, like someone who is a trans woman, they are biologically male and they are a woman. And we're referencing someone who's a trans man, they are biologically female, but they are a man. So that would be the context in which we're referencing like what it means for someone to be trans.
Honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. That made no sense to me. Okay, so
if that didn't make sense to you, would you like Eli to explain it to you?
Oh my god.
Are you scared, bro?
Good, dude. What's up?
Are you scared?
No, dude. I'm not. Why would I be scared? I don't even know who you are.
Yeah, I don't know. You all Parker.
I'm guessing from your picture, you're who we're speaking about. I don't know how to probably address you. So I'm trying to be respectful.
That's cool. All I was asking is if you were scared was because all Parker did was say my name and ask if you wanted to talk to me about it, and you did kind of what sounded like a nervous laugh. But yeah, I'm Eli. I am a 32-year-old trans man. So I'm a man, and you can use the same pronouns that you probably use for yourself. I know that the word pronoun is probably scary for you, but we're gonna get through it. I promise.
Why would you assume that?
Because I have these conversations almost every single day.
Oh, so you're just okay. So you're just gonna assume that I
Yeah.
Anyways,
I think it's an accurate assumption.
Yeah, it's like what I would call an educated guess.
Yeah, based upon all of the reasonable evidence.
Based on a preponderance of evidence, right, Parker? Nod your head.
Oh,
yeah.
That's
good boy.
You're so fucking weird. All right. Anyways, I feel like you need to do that in order to feel big and tough, and like you're actually getting some like one up on Parker. It's actually so fucking cringy, bro.
What are you talking about? You did the same exact thing. So you think Parker is the whole?
We do it to specific people, like Liam.
Mm-hmm.
Like
yeah,
Liam. It's contextual.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, Liam. It's like a running joke.
Eli,
Yeah.
do you want to get to the point? Why are you here, bro? I'm trying to debate.
The reason why it's cringe with you is because it feels like you're like doing.
And me, why are you here, bro?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Let's get back to that. Yeah. Anyways,
All right. So like what he did was without provocation is essentially what we're trying to establish, and what we were doing with Liam was with provocation. So.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I am a trans man, and so we're speaking about folks like me. And you said it didn't make sense, right? You wanted to know what trans means. Trans, is short for transgender. It's not short for transition, all right? And the prefix
transgender.
Trans is short for transgender.
Okay. So
it's not short for transition.
So trans and gender are two different words, or no?
No. Well, no.
Trans, so transgender is one word.
Trans is a prefix.
Okay. And what usually prefixes are? Oh, so trans is okay. All right. And wait, is it actually defined as a prefix, like in a dictionary, or are you just saying that?
Well, so there's parts of words, like you have prefixes at the beginning of certain words, you have suffixes at the end of certain words.
Right. I understand. I know that.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that yes, by definition, trans would be a prefix. So transmission, trans would be the prefix in that word. Transport, trans would be the prefix in that word. Do you know what I mean?
I understand that. So to go from one state to another, transport in a vehicle. So
yeah, it's and so the prefix
wouldn't that mean? Wouldn't transgender mean to go from one gender to another gender?
No. So all that trans means is the prefix trans means on the other side.
Disagree that transport means to go from one state to another in a motor vehicle.
Okay, and am I a trans? And am I a transport person or am I a transgender person?
No, but I think the prefix trans is
Hey, dude. Again, what you're not understanding is words
prefix
mean
trans is
different
still the
things in
same.
different contexts, and
My
I think
point is you're
he
making
just
it
figured this one
different.
out. You
Yeah,
just made me die laughing, dude. Does that mean I actually died? No. Okay.
Mhm.
Like, you understand that words have different meanings depending on the context in which you use it, and you can just clarify that usage if someone didn't understand.
Mhm. So yeah, so when like you combine a prefix with certain words, that's why transport and transmission don't mean the same thing, because the prefix trans by itself in Latin translates to on the other side of. Just like cis, CIS, is on the same side of. All right, but when you put like transgender, it doesn't mean on the other side of gender in the context of like you're gonna switch to that. It means that when I was born, I've been trans my whole life. I've always been trans.
So,
Transgender does not mean
so
transition.
does science support that
Yes,
claim? Okay,
yes.
can you give me your source so I could possibly read up on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I can DM you a ton of them. I
Well, okay,
actually
so
also
give me like a
so
gist before you go ahead and do that. How does science support that?
sure, yeah. So every major mental health organization globally is going to support this. The being trans is not considered any sort of like mental illness, but
I
there's
didn't say that,
also
but I'm
hold
saying
on,
how does
but there's also I don't really like this argument, but I'm okay with it because it's bioessentialism. It's essentially saying that you're not something unless something is supported by science. So it really blows. I'm not a fan of this argument, but there have been studies that have been done on queer individuals' brains, whether they are GAY or they are trans individuals. And these studies have actually shown differences in like our prefrontal cortex and different parts of our brain. They did a study on some cisgender women and cisgender men and compared them to their transgender counterparts. And I believe this is where you can find it would be like the National Health, like the NA, or sorry, what's the I don't have a computer sitting right in front of me because I'm trying to cook dinner, but where the National Library of Medicine. So when I get off the live, I'll send you these sources. But they did a study, yeah, NIH, thank you. So when they did the study on these brains of the trans and cisgender people, they actually found that the transgender women's brain more closely when compared to cisgender men or women was more closely structured in the way that cisgender women's brains are structured. And then the same thing for trans men, that our brains are more similarly structured in the way that cisgender men brains are structured. So there have been some studies on this, and yeah, but I'm again, I don't think that my existence needs to be backed up by science in order for it to be valid, and so that's why I'm not a fan of that argument. It is considered bioessentialism.
Yeah. Also, like gender names, things like that, right? Have societal like commitments that relate to them, and like that obviously doesn't need like the sort of bioessentialist argument as well in order to be able to grant it as valid. So a lot of people have like a misnomer that like it's only valid if there is science to establish it, which isn't true. That's not true for names. Names aren't like you can't use science to
That's not what
identify
I
someone's
said,
name.
Parker. That's not what I said, Parker. I'm just, that's one of the reasons.
I know, but it's me responding to a common take that exists, so it's fine.
Okay, well, all right. I guess we'll agree to disagree. I mean, I don't know what the point of bringing him up here was.
I don't want you to agree to disagree with me because you are the MAGA was really really loud
Guys,
about.
why do you keep
Hold on.
associating me with MAGA? I'm not.
Do you support Trump?
MAGA. I'm a conservative, and I voted for Trump.
Okay. So Trump, his entire slogan is "Make America Great Again." When you voted
that doesn't mean I entirely agree with everything that goes under that whatever qualifies as Make America Great Again.
Great, cool. Okay, so how about this? You're not MAGA, but you do support Trump. Great.
I don't
When you
support Trump. I voted for him, and I'm a conservative.
okay,
Oh my
Why is that
god,
harmful?
do
Why
if
is
you could
that
go
legal
back
or
in
why?
time, if you could go back in time or vote for Trump or Kamala, who would you vote
Vote
for?
for Trump or vote for a party that didn't have a
No,
declared
no, no,
leader.
no,
I would
no,
vote
no.
for
If you could
no,
vote for one, wait, wait.
I'd vote for the party that had a declared leader. Yes, I'd
Okay,
vote for
exactly.
them.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you. W
Okay.
concession. All right. So you would still support Trump if you could, if we had to go and redo the vote right now. That's all.
Yes,
That's all I
because there's a
wanted to.
declared leader
Cool.
for that party. Yes.
Cool. So when you say agree to disagree, you would vote for the party regardless of whether or not you identify as MAGA, whatever. I don't care if you do or don't. Your vote, straight up, was towards the party that claims facts over feelings, which is interesting because the people who support Trump are some of the most fragile people that I've ever met in my entire life. But that's also anecdotal and a personal opinion. So when you say agree to disagree, you are agreeing to disagree based on your feelings, and you're choosing
What my
intentionally. You're
feelings? What are you
choosing
talking about?
intentionally to ignore the facts. And your ignorance, your intentional ignorance, or I don't know, cognitive dissonance. I'm not sure.
So
Whatever it is that motivates you has negatively affected
okay, I'd
people like
prefer not
me.
to have this conversation without getting to. I mean, do you? So you want to have this? You want me to ask you questions that would? I'm not, like I just chose not to engage in this conversation. You gave your experience or whatever your spiel was about. I mean, I respect that. Whatever. I don't know what that was meant to do, but I don't believe in trans people. I just believe that
You
if
don't
you're
believe in trans people as you're talking to a trans person. Like
right, like if
what?
you were born
That
a
is
You
the
know what's
most
woman,
funny?
ridiculous thing you could have ever said.
You know what's funny?
What?
I
it's
spent
more
the
ridiculous. It's more ridiculous that this. I can't believe we're having this conversation. It's
I can't believe we're having this conversation. What?
speak, dude. Can I explain myself? Or
Yeah,
it's
explain
a
why you
figment
think
of
that
my.
Eli doesn't exist.
I didn't
I'm a
say he
ghost.
did. Eli's a person. I just believe he is a woman. That's my personal
No,
opinion.
you're fucking
Yeah, dude, I'm
disgusting,
totally
dude.
no. Oh man. Oh, okay. Well, ladies, gentlemen, and those that are neither, I wanted him to hear me say. Did he get blocked or muted
I kicked
or
him. I
just
kicked
dropped?
him actually.
Okay, cool. So he can just hear me say this really quick. Uh, every MAGA that comes up here and speaks, just know that I defended your right. I swore that I would defend your right for the last 13 years of my life in active duty, to free speech, right? And you can use it however you want, but it is embarrassing as fuck as an active duty service member to know that the way you choose to use your free speech is like that. I mean, I honestly, like, I didn't discriminate when I joined the military and said that that's what I would do, and you want to discriminate against me. It's fucking embarrassing. You're not patriots, and you go against every single thing that America represents when it comes to Constitution, all that shit. But yeah, it's embarrassing. Anyways, thanks, Parker.
Thank you
Appreciate
so
you.
much, man. Thank you.
See ya.
All right, everyone. We're gonna go on to the next individual. Praharsh, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much for the $20. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the $2. Thank you so much, Lainey. Really appreciate it. Thank you for the $2 as well. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's make sure to go on to the next person real quick. Only send a guest request if you meet this set of criteria on the screen, everyone. We are just looking for some debates. Jim, thank you for the $25 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Jim. I really appreciate it. Sarah with the $5. Thank you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Kiana, thank you for the $2. Caitlin with the $5. Thank you. Mela, thank you so much. I appreciate the $2. Blake with the $4.20. Ruben with the $3. Thank you. Samantha with the $10. I really appreciate it. As well as Ava, thank you for the $5. Yehoshua, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $7. Thank you. AE, thank you so much. I appreciate the $5. Asher with the $5. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Let's make sure to go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria on the screen. We're going to make sure to go on to... I am looking, chat. Here we are. Chat, they tried to claim themselves as like the person. They changed their name to their name so they could just do that. That's so fucking disgusting. I think the other people, like the mom, isn't there anymore. That's so disgusting. It's so fucking crazy. Dream, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you. As well as Najia, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $10. Finally got the courage to make a fan page account to clip your debates. Based. It's Parker got a clip. I'll make sure to look. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Asher, thank you for the $5. Again, thank you. I really appreciate it. Of course. Thank you. Let's go on to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet the set of criteria that I put on the screen. They aren't in the guest box, by the way, anymore. Let's make sure. Let's make sure to go on to the next person. Got the second flag for some reason. So like I'm good as of now until I get the flag. So yo, what's up? How old are you?
I will be 20 in November.
DL, thank you for the $5. Thank you. Do you support Donald Trump?
I do. Very
Okay.
much.
Why do you support Donald Trump?
I think his policies are better.
Oh, there we go. There goes the flag. You can join back and you can be one of the first guests to join the live. We're going to hit a quick restart, everyone. I'll be right back for the 4.9 thousand people here in the TikTok stream. Make sure to follow this account if you have not already. This is my third account, so make sure to follow me if you have not already. And you can also go over to my YouTube. Parker Get a Job on YouTube. That is like one of the best places to catch me because TikTok consistently bans me over and over and over again. So I'll be right back, everyone. I'll see y'all here in a second, everyone. I love y'all so much. I'll see y'all here in a minute. Be right back. Give me like literally a few minutes. Or not a few minutes, a few seconds. 15, 20 seconds. I'll be right back, everyone.